Let me say that on here. Never mind.
You can say whatever you need to say.
Oh, like you're a virgin, so I don't know if you can be called a thought.
No, I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. You've got a little more history with women, so in this case, you would have been the thought.
I got a little history. I got 7 kids. So I got a lot of history with women.
Well, yeah. Well,
That's not a little bit. That's a
little.
lot.
That's fair, but that's relativity, right? That's a lot for a common household. But some people have more kids than that. So to those people,
Yeah,
it would just
I
be a
don't
little
know
bit.
many people that have more than 7 kids. I just don't.
I can't imagine there's many people. That's just too many kids to keep track
Especially in
of.
America.
Oh yeah, yeah. America, like 1 to 3 is pretty much the standard, and then in other, I don't know for other countries, like what country has the most kids per household?
Okay, I don't get this. All right, and I think it has
Nigeria
something to
has
do.
7 children per woman, typically, apparently. Okay, but go ahead.
All right, UV light in water kills bacteria. That's for certain.
Yes, specifically, it makes
So
the bacteria incapable of its asexual reproduction.
yeah, it destroys the DNA. Would that work if you ran it through like a UV filter for blood, or would it destroy the
I
cells?
I guess it should. It should have the same effect on blood.
UV filters on blood.
Well, let me look that up because that's a nice little.
Would it kill just the bacteria, or would it kill cells? Because cells are much bigger than bacteria.
It says it's still acting as an antimicrobial agent. It oxidizes blood lipids. I don't know what a blood lipid is, and it modulates immune cells. So it does seem like it affects the cells and the
Yeah,
microbes.
but you know what I'm saying. Would it be effective? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it says it still kills bacteria and viruses. Which that means that like if they do the UV light to scan blood, they are also losing some of the data that the blood would have in the process.
well, the point is like, could you destroy things like HIV and stuff like that?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, I know. I thought of it. That's how you know it's a good question.
Well, yeah, but it was like particularly good even for you, just because I had like I really had to like think through a couple of steps to be like, no, yeah, he's got a point. It absolutely should. It's highly effective at inactivating the HIV virus outside the body, but it can't. You can't UV light inside the body. Or I guess you
Well, you
could.
can't use light inside the body, but you can filter blood. You can take blood out of your body and put it back in because that's what literally they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
May theoretically. It says UV exposure to human skin may theoretically stimulate HIV replication in infected cells, so it might help it spread faster. But
oh,
that kind
gee,
of
that's what
contradicts
we
what it
need.
says before. It can cause radiation. Is like an
Yeah, but
interaction as with
everything
HIV.
causes radiation. Does it cause radiation on a level that's going to permanently destroy your insides? That's the point.
I
Everything
mean,
causes radiation.
it would have to be like significant enough. It would have to be something. Well, it just says potential risk. I guess it
Yeah.
doesn't say like known risk. So maybe it is negligible. Maybe it is like the same level of radiation as like bananas have. Like it's there, but it's so trace it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Interesting. This is ultraviolet blood irradi- irradiation was extensively used in the 40s and 50s to treat many diseases, included septicemia, pneumonia, tuberculosis, arthritis, asthma, and even bliss. The early studies were carried out by several physicians in the United States and published in the Journal of American Journal of Surgery. However, with the development of antibiotics, the use of UBI declined and has now been called the cure that time forgot. Later studies were mostly performed by Russian workers and other Eastern countries, and modern view in Western countries about UBI remains highly controversial. The review discusses the potential of UBI as an alternative approach to current methods used to treat infections as an immune modulating therapy. As a method for normalizing blood parameters, low and mild doses of UV kill microorganisms by damaging the DNA, while any DNA damage in host cells can be rapidly repaired by DNA repair enzymes.
So it works as a cure. They just don't do it anymore.
Well, they found antibiotics which were really effective, and they kind of just forgot about it. They were doing studies on it.
That
Um,
makes sense. I see that. Immune modulating therapies, treatments to adjust the immune system activity, either stimulating it to fight cancers or suppress it to treat autoimmune diseases. Huh? Which means that UV lights, if it does help to some degree with
yeah,
HIV.
well, more importantly, it actually destroys uh, um, resistant antibiotics, antibiotics that are resistant to um, um, uh, you know what I'm saying, the resistance to things that are resistant to um, like there are antibiotics that can't treat certain things.
Yeah, and then there's also like allergies to
MRSA, yeah.
antibiotics. So like those good antibiotics may not be like a good option for everybody.
Uh,
Well, dang, should they be like looking back into the UV study? Because it sounds like the fact that it
they actually are starting to look back into it a little bit, but
okay,
uh,
cool. So if I
that's
look
what
up,
the thing Trump was talking about. I know everybody gets onto him. Oh, blah blah blah.
hmm?
I'm like, no, they were discussing using UV lights over the bloodstream that could kill, like, because it can repair itself. It can kill the bacteria without necessarily killing the patient.
Hmm?
So when they were talking about a cure for COVID, the possibility of running under UV lights was a very real thing, but it
Oh,
just got politicized to shit.
they did
To
follow
what?
through with that because that's I believe those purple lights that you see every now and then, like those are ultraviolet lights, aren't they?
Yes,
So that means that's well, COVID's gone now. I don't know why I've seen more lights like that pop up. Like, does it?
maybe it's because of stuff like that, but it also could be for viewing blood and stuff. Like you turn off a room and turn on the light and view blood, so that it's a possibility. But
But why would you want that as like a street light other than like to
oh,
detect
no, no,
COVID?
no, we're not talking like street lights. We're talking about like waving wands. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh no, I was talking about street lights because I've seen like ultraviolet street lights are popping up
that's
now.
probably just the cheap affordability of it. Um,
Does it not like pose a risk to if it's killing cells? Like, would it not be bad to drive through like ultraviolet lights on like long periods? Would that not have like adverse effects?
well, I mean, I don't know, but
It
I also know that the body can repair it, so it may not have that effect. It literally says right here that the body can repair. That was the thing. That's why the Russians were using it, and it was fairly effective. Um,
it does say far UVC light is effective at destroying airborne pathogens without damaging human skin, making a potential
no,
tool for continuous, safe indoor air disinfection.
right.
Huh. Yeah, maybe UV lights are the way to go as opposed to our current like mock lights. I don't remember what they're called. The yellow lights that don't like replicate the sunlight, and then there's like the ones that do replicate the sunlight.
Well, UV lights is what the sun the sun has more than UV light. UV light is just one part of it. The sun has gamma, alpha rays. It has a shit ton. It's not just there's light that comes to the earth that you can't even see.
That is true. Like
The
only
animal,
certain bugs can see those.
yeah, certain bugs, animals, things like that can see it. So, but yeah, so it can they're like it can damage DNA. Yes, it can, but it doesn't seem to damage it not be repaired in humans. We have like a repair system for that. So there's a possibility. There's definitely
Is it going to affect wildlife? I guess would
promise.
be the next step. I do see it's also helpful for phototherapy to treat skin conditions like psoriasis, vitiligo, and atopic
I would say they use
dermatitis.
that anyway. They use UV light in that anyway.
Apparently, I didn't realize that. Beyond disinfection, UV exposure can reduce blood pressure by generating nitric oxide, boost mood via endorphins, and
Okay.
potentially reduce LDL cholesterol.
UV
But
light irradiation of Rh positive blood significantly increases the immunosorbent activity. Voss blah, blah. Studied varied irradiation levels of UV on both red blood cells and lymphocyte thrombotic site suspensions. The immunosportion activity increased immediately after the radiation in the of the whole blood and red blood cells. However, the immunosuppression capacity and lymphocytic and thrombocytic suspensions was lost after 2 days. So it
What
lasted
did
for about 2 days after usage.
what lasted 2 days? Because there was a lot of words mixed in there I'm not familiar with, and hearing
Okay,
them for the first time, I do lose track.
which word do you need dictionary definition for?
I think I need like a rephrasing of the last part of that. The 2 days later,
Okay.
what happened 2
However,
days later?
okay, immunosuppression, is that the word you were looking for, or the lymphocyte?
That was well. I'm gonna need a clarification on both of those.
Okay.
Immunosportion
Yeah.
with a B at the end.
No. No. Immunosuppression is the procedure that removes specific blood group antibodies from the blood.
Okay, I did spell it right. So it is with a BENT at the end.
Yeah.
Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, or ELISA. Okay. And then what was that other one? It might help if I
Okay.
just had like the link you were looking at.
Well, this is I can send you a link, but it's a you have to scroll the hell down. It's a PhD.
Okay.
It's the actual study. So, because I mean, I deal in real shit. There you go. That's the study.
Thank you. Oh wait, that's the page I'm on.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Wait, am I?
PCM 48.
Oh yeah.
478 3265. Yeah.
Okay. Were you looking at like the abstract?
No, it was down in the effects on red blood cells, which is what we were talking about. And it says UV light irradiation of Rh positive blood significantly increases the immunosuppression activity. Studied varying irradiation levels of UV on blood cells and leukocyte thrombocyte suspensions. And if you want a definition of that, because it's a medical definition, so give me a second. I know what it means.
Okay.
I just, I want to know. I want to say exactly what it means. I'm like, well, technically, it means like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll try not to do that because I do that a lot.
Leukocytes or white blood cells is part of it, and the other one, well, thrombotics or platelets are involved in blood clotting. Okay, so thrombocytes are used in blood clotting. Leukocytes are the white blood cells. All right.
Okay, and then the UV reacts with those. It cuts down on the thrombolite.
No, it cuts down on the production or of red blood cells. You know what I'm saying? It works like an immunosuppressant in a way.
Okay.
Is what I'm getting from it.
That seems like mostly what it boils down to is like an immunosuppressant. It lowers blood pressure and it helps with cholesterol, like the main things with UV.
See, but these were used a lot for autoimmune diseases and shit like that. Things where your stuff is running wild and it's killing the cells themselves.
Yeah.
That was the study they were doing. There's several studies in here, but
which those studies, do they have like a? Oh yeah. So 2014 is where I'm seeing some of these studies. So it looks like that's when they were looking into it, and maybe after like a little bit, they
also
stopped. 2015.
Organ transplantation is one, because organ transplantation takes and you need immunosuppressed for that, otherwise it'll destroy the donor organ. So you have to stay immunosuppressed once you get a transplant.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
I guess that makes sense. No. Well, I've never had an organ removed, so I have no.
I've never had one either. I still know that. You can't use that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? I've never had AIDS, so we can't discuss. We can't have a discussion about AIDS because I've never had AIDS. So like,
no, I'm just saying they had no reason to come up in my life before. I was never like, how do they like maintain transported organs?
Really? Because your
yes,
brothers.
I'm aware they did it, but they never like brought up the UV ray, or maybe they didn't even know like when they take the organ to another room that like maybe they don't break down like, okay, here's what we're doing with your kidney.
No, they gave him immunosuppressant drugs. That was the point. They gave him immunosuppressant drugs. But either way, it's kind of interesting. Everybody says UBI. That's universal basic income. That's what you guys are thinking now. Don't lie.
I don't know who
Anytime
you
you
guys
hear,
are. That's definitely not what I was thinking.
oh, that is always what you're thinking. Thinking like a socialist.
It's a government program providing. I don't even know what universal basic income is. Is that not just welfare? It sounds a little bit like welfare.
It is welfare, but it's a special type of where you just the government just gives you money. They've only done practice studies in America and Canada, but they want
Supposed to counteract economic insecurity caused by AI and automation. Universal basic income was specifically in relation to AI.
do what?
When I looked up UBI, universal basic income, because you had brought it up, and it's saying it's UBI is mostly to counteract economic insecurity caused by AI. Full national UBI pilots have occurred in locations such as Kenya, Finland, Namibia, India, Canada, and various cities in the U.S. Oh, there's some U.S. cities. Okay, so some cities in the
Ugh.
U.S. have this, but not everywhere. How recent was this established? I was not aware of this. This sounds like it had to have been pretty recent. When was UBI established?
50s. Oh,
Yeah, no, it's been in discussion since 1960s, but it looks like the private pilot started in 2016 to 2019. So during Trump's
yeah.
first term.
They picked it back up as an ideal because before, like, say, antibiotics really were knocking the shit out of everything. They're like, okay, this is the wonder drug, and it kind of just lost money and stuff like to research it. But now that we have found another use for it, one thing we're good about is stuff like that. But now that
Repurposing.
repurposing, and now that we found another use for it, we're like, oh, okay. Anyway, it's definitely a thing, but
It's just new to me. I was not familiar with this, but look at that. Oh, yeah. That is socialism. Numerous guaranteed income pilots have launched across various U.S. cities, though no federal UBI has been implemented. Okay, so that started in the 2020s, so we're still in the early stage of that. Stockton Economic Empowerment Demonstration Seed Launch, becoming a widely recognized municipal UBI law. So I can look that up. Stockton. Which now I'm going like a tangent unrelated to ultraviolet. One thing I'm seeing on as far as the ultraviolet stuff is April 29, 2000. Excessive exposure to ultraviolet radiation in childhood has been recognized as an extrinsic risk factor for the development of skin cancer later in life. And that's surprising to me because I know skin cancer does come from like sunlight, but you would think we'd be evolved like or designed to work with the ultraviolet. Like you wouldn't think like too much sun would be a risk for us.
Wow. I totally got onto something that was unrelated to what we're discussing, but I was staggered by the stats on it because it was significant. Did you
Stats
know
on
30% of people are raising kids they don't know that aren't theirs?
30%. How do you even determine that? Like you surprise them, be like, "Hey, we
I
want to test
mean,
to see if your kid's yours."
DNA can tell you that, but
Yeah, but that means in order for them to find out about that, I guess they would only find out like upon.
yeah, because they don't have your DNA from like everything on Earth. I mean, they have a whole fucking database. They have a CODIS system that that tracks everybody's DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like
Do they? I did not know that. A coda system.
it's called CODIS.
Coda system DNA tracking. Oh, is that like for the thing where like if you go to jail, you have to get your thumbprint and like DNA?
You have to get your DNA swab and shit like that.
Okay, convicted offenders and arrestees. That's right.
But that's not all. It's not the only place that CODIS gets this information from. They can get it from certain medical
Hospitals.
files and things like that.
Makes sense.
So
So I guess that's how they find out is like somebody goes through the combined DNA index system
yeah, because
and
who else is in the CODIS system is also victims, and you know what I'm saying. It's not just criminals. It's anybody that's a victim of certain crimes and stuff like that. Anytime they swab your DNA or DNA for child support or
mhm.
anything, um, um,
Yeah, and anytime you go to like a hospital to do something, like they do a bunch of tests that they definitely get some information from that.
profiles of individuals convicted of crimes, profiles of individuals arrested for crimes, profiles collected from crime scenes, profiles related to unidentified individuals, missing persons.
Oh,
So that's a lot of people. So yeah, I'm guessing that. What'd you say, baby?
and that's thirty
Oh, that's
percent.
okay. No.
30% of people raise kids that aren't theirs. Oh, it looks like that's just like so it looks like the original estimate of misattributed paternity ranges from 0.8% to 30% depending on the study's context. So it looks like there's some caveat there that like affects that.
Yeah, because I'm sure women are much less likely to lie now as there was before.
What?
I mean, what's more likely that in 2025 women are lying more, or in say 1975?
Well, this is based on the study. I don't know if it like which if the 30% comes from 2025. Okay, and then I'm seeing a Reddit thing that says 96 to 99% somehow.
Hell,
And
here's
I see another thing that
11%
says
based on people seeking paternity testing.
what I'm seeing from well, this is okay. DNAtesting.com
Huh?
is are you looking at DNAtesting.com? Because that one does say 30%. Oh, that's from 2010 though. The BBC Science
Yeah,
Focus
I'm sure it
magazine.
varies from year to year, but the point is that it can be as much as a 30%. That's a significant number. You know what I'm
I'd
saying?
have to see like how the study was conducted because that seems absurdly high.
Well,
Like
here's one that is not. All right. This one was based on a study in the US and it was 11% of men. This one, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the
yeah, well
variance
that's
is
the
going
thing
to
is
be there.
I'm
But what?
finding yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
Okay.
I'm finding like the distinguishments, the variances, which is why I'm like I don't know if it actually is as high as 30% at like a given time because it does say that's an estimate.
Younger men and those in unstable relations tend to have high rates of non paternity, meaning women lied, but they don't want to say it that way.
Okay, can I get the link to that?
That was just from the AI research. It's from
I'm seeing that as the
fraud.com, I think. Yeah, fraud.com.
fraud.com.
That's what it's called, fraud.com. Like, I don't know
Okay,
what you want me to tell you. Here is paternity fraud. Here you
end
go.
to end fraud prevention and fraud orchestration.
Here you go. Yeah, I throw it in the studio chat. Just because we don't want to pass around bad data if it's bad data, but although we're verbalizing and passing it around, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely something that Even if it's 10%, that's still a lot.
That is pretty substantial because I would think it's something closer to 1%, which is kind of like what I saw on like one thing. As it said,
Even
one out of a
that,
hundred.
do you realize that most diseases affect like 0.06% of the population and stuff like that? Like it's
Yeah.
minute. So even when we're talking
Well,
1%, that is a lot. 1% of America is like 3 million people.
that is true. That is still a lot of people. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like 1% may not be a lot if you're in like, let's say what's that place called?
Fraud.com is not pulling up that for
Not
me.
Iceland, Greenland. There's only 48,000 people there, so 1% of that ain't too bad.
Yeah,
You
it'd
know,
be
it's in numbers that you know what I'm saying.
that'd
But
only be like, wait, am I tripping? 48,000,
I think it's 48,000 people in Greenland.
4,400. So yeah, it'd be like 400 people then.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's manageable. You know what I'm saying? Like to be like, okay, 400 people lied. It happens. But when you're like, hey, millions upon millions of people are lying, that's bad. And that's at the 1% range. When we're talking 30%, that's 100 million people of 350 million people.
Yeah, I'm at DNA. When I went to fraud.com, by the way, it didn't pull up that. I don't know what I. Well, you did send a link. Let me
Did
just
you go
grab
to
the
the
link.
link?
No, I googled it and then I went to their homepage and I was like, this doesn't look like what we're
This is the
talking about.
links that were given. Yeah. A 2023
Okay,
study in reproduction said 11% were not the biological fathers of the children they were raising. This was insight
but you're right.
from,
That's still a lot.
yeah, 11%'s a lot.
Paternity fraud, a widespread deception that misrepresents a child's biological father, has significant implications, including emotional distress and financial burdens. It touches upon family law, child support payments, child welfare,
Uh, If it's
and the
10%,
victims.
it's 35 million people. And it's highly prevalent among men in their 20s and 30s, those unmarried to mothers and those with shorter relationships.
That is a lot.
Here's another study in 2023 that said 12% were not biological fathers, emphasizing social factors like sexual economic status and non-Caucasian ethnicity influencing non-paternity rates. Okay. See, the 1% seems to be a UK thing. That's what suggests the wide range. And here's the thing: they won't even do the studies in France. They will not do the studies. It's a banned against the law in France to do the studies. I think is what it
What?
is. Yeah, hold on.
France paternity
Like,
fraud studies.
yeah, you can only get a DNA test through the courts. You can't just get a DNA test where you can go and swab it and send it to a company.
Oh, it does say that bioethics laws making private at home DNA tests illegal to protect family stability.
Yeah, stability means I know my wife cheated, but you can't prove it. That's the stability they're trying to create.
You have to pay up to 15K euros and take a year in prison if you don't if you try to like do a test at home. That's kind of
Yep.
crazy.
See what I'm saying? That
And
means that their paternity fraud is probably even worse than ours
yeah, and
and
they're
the UK's.
saying ranges of 2.8 to 3 over 3%, but that's with the understanding that most people aren't able to like test it for themselves to be able to report if it's
Right.
non
They have low
paternity.
testing, therefore they have low results.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
yep. Private paternity tests are generally illegal in France. Paternity tests can be conducted and ordered by a judge during a legal proceeding to establish or contest parentage. Engaging in unauthorized paternity testing can lead to penalties including up to 1 year in prison and fines for $15,000. And that's why you're like, hey, I don't think this kid's mine, but I can't test it to see.
Yeah, and that's like it says only for child support and custody cases. That means you couldn't even like go to be like, I suspect that this kid isn't mine. Like that alone would I don't imagine would qualify as a custody case in France.
This legal framework reflects France's commitment to protecting family integrity and individual privacy. That is a falsehood thrust upon the father and mother. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's always the father, but you know. Um,
The
and here's the
ban.
thing:
Mm?
because parents can't do this, not just fathers can't do it. If your kid was mistakenly given to you, you
Oh
can't
yeah,
test to see if that is accurate.
I forget about that. That is a thing that happens sometimes, isn't it?
Hmm.
There's like
Which
a
means
phrase for that. What's that called?
you'd be like, the kid's black. They'll be like, no DNA testing. It's like, but the kid doesn't even look like me. He's freaking wrong color. Mm-mm-mm.
I feel like that would substantiate like a custody case,
I don't
though.
think it would in France.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I don't see why not. At that point, it's pretty clear that the kid's not yours.
It doesn't matter. In Georgia, it's like that. If you've been married, if you're married to the girl that has a kid, it's your kid till otherwise notified. You can get a DNA test, but it doesn't change the fact that that kid is your kid, even if it comes out the wrong race.
I missed part of that because my headset apparently is on low power now, so I'm about to have to like unplug it and do
Okay.
the listen and text and chat. But run that by me one more time, real quick.
Oh, I was just saying the DNA testing in
In
Georgia
front,
is like that. If
the
you're married
country,
for no the
the
state,
state.
you're automatically the father. Uh, Even if the kid comes out and is not biologically yours, and evidently not biologically yours.
Options range from
Mm-hmm,
affordable
mm-hmm.
home kits to accredited legally binding tests for child support or custody cases.
Yeah, they only want to use it when it's beneficial to them and when they want money from somebody, but it's not beneficial to the person. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it doesn't.
Beneficial to who? The Georgia Department?
Yeah, because they want somebody to. The state wants people to pay for stuff, even
That's
if
true.
it's not the right person. They don't care if it's the right person. You'll see this in people going into like you ever watch that maternity court and shit. They'll be like, yeah, but the other guy's a deadbeat. It's like it doesn't matter. And this
Like
is in
Jerry
Texas.
Springer type stuff.
Yeah, well, it is Jerry Springer stuff, but it's real. Like they'll be like they will claim that somebody else is the father because they want somebody that can afford the kid and pay for the kid, but really she had it with some numbnuts that doesn't have any money and stuff like that. And women say as much. They'll be like, blah blah blah. They're like he's like, yeah, well, they're like he's like he's not the father, and they're like, do you know who the father is? Like, yeah, but he's a deadbeat. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't do anything. So they want the big rich guy versus the thing. Now in Texas, they don't play that shit, but in states like Georgia and other states, they do. And when you get into like say Virginia and stuff like that, they may just do it with DNA testing altogether and say, hey, you're the father no matter what.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because they're moving. The more the states are moving towards socialism, which is what France is moving towards, the more that's the key. Because these women are whores and they're having sex with guys that are basically numbnuts that won't pay the bills. And at some point, the state has to pay the bill if that's the case. So they alleviate the state. They require a person. Don't matter the person. Don't matter. They don't really care. This is a very real problem. Not so much, well, in some states in America, but other states like Florida just in 20 something, 2021, 20 something, they just did away with permanent alimony. They're like, nope, you're not getting it. And for good reason. These relationships are very short. They're not 30, even 30-year relationships, though. You know, they're like, you can work. You don't need a man to support you. You can work. And now that's when the feminists are running the other direction. Like, no, 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 we need a man. We need a man. It's like, no, no, no. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, some women are doing okay. Not a lot. Yes, with a man. But, you know, it's always easier when you have two people to do things. It's just common sense.
Well, in regards to what, because before you were talking about alimony, I don't know what you mean by it makes more sense to have two people to do something.
Oh, well, what do you think is better for you and the family? One parent or two?
Yeah, two makes sense. Well, in that argument, like three, four, five, and six would also be fantastic for the family to have that many
It wouldn't.
parents.
It would, but it wouldn't. And the reason it wouldn't is because, and it can if it's women. It's less so if it's men. The fighting and stuff would cause too much angst, too much issues. You know what I'm saying? Because the number one thing people are pissed off is jealousy. Jealousy comes from cheating. You know
How
what I'm
do
saying?
polycules work?
Okay, now you're jumping onto a whole different topic. Come on.
Well, because if we're talking about like two parents is better for the kids than one parent, like I do still, it still makes sense to me that more people would therefore be beneficial. Like, you know, the concept of it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yes, and if it's females and they're okay with it, it does work out okay. But women get possessive over even children. This happens in the Mormon community a lot.
Oh yeah, so Mormons do this a lot, and I mean,
Yeah,
how did
they have whole cultures that do it. So,
Mormon
um,
family?
and it probably would work out well in.
Hold on, let me disconnect my headset and then reload so I can hear you.
Sorry. It says you have stopped recording. Something smells good. Oh, that's what smells good. It smells really, really good. Do you think you would forgive me if I ate one of those? You'd forgive me? You wouldn't stab me to death? I'm not so sure about that. Oh, he's back. Are you gonna be in chat? Which chat? Okay, that chat. Okay. Public, does that mean I can't tell them about your tiny penis? Because it's public. Yeah, it'd be advisable to take me at my word for it. You wouldn't want to see the small thing. I'm just messing with Cayden. I'm sure his penis is of average size. Okay, there you go. No, I mean you're a Hudgens, so you probably got a big dick anyway. Honestly, I don't know a Hudgens that has less than 6 inches. Like, you know, the nurse. You just figured that out. Okay, friend's a little slow. Town's back that way. Okay, but yeah, no, like I said, so the the like I said, and here's the thing: when you have something like Arabic culture where you can just kind of like do whatever the fuck you want to those women, yeah, it works. Keep them in line, so everything functions well. I don't know if it functions well for the ladies to get smacked upside the head, but as a group, functionally, it works well. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about polycules where there isn't like stricter hand to make them mind, you know. Oh no, no, absolutely. And here's the thing: even in abusive relationships, it's better for the parents to stay together for the kid. I'm not even kidding. They have better numbers, better everything, even if there's abuse. And mind you, the way we're defining abuse is the way they define it now, which is 1950s used to be the standard for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, ooh, I got distracted. Really? Because people don't get hit at all now, and they're freaking retards. And back in Albert Einstein say, I'm betting they whipped them for leaving the slightest thing. I think discipline makes the mind. Yeah, we do. He was born in the 1800s. It was standard. Mm, no, there's not. Yeah, that's how the Japanese do it. They're good at math. Still physical abuse by the definition because it's physical. Yeah, so it's still physical abuse. No, it seems to have nothing to do with the type of punishment and more to do with the aftermath. Um, and this is true back then and now. If somebody just beats your ass and sends you on your way and never really talks to you, never really does things like that, it has a deeper impact on you than whether you know what I'm saying. Because, but they didn't seem to do fine because you still did the stuff. When they didn't want you to do it and the punishment was severe, you typically never did that again. And it's proven by the severe punishment for things like violence. You're neither violent now nor are any of your brothers. No. Because if your dad had it his way, you wouldn't smoke weed, but you do. It doesn't matter. The point is that he wasn't able to curb that in you. All vices are things that we curb. We have a natural we have natural to be do gambling, whatever. Like there's always something that, but our inclination is to do these things. Our resistance to them is not. No, boys tend to be more gamblers than girls do on average. But who do you blame for your smoking? Do you blame society or do you blame your parents? Everything is control. Everything is control. No, I think society made it accessible and it also made it seem like it wasn't that big a deal. Because when we were kids, weed was a very big deal. Oh, the PSAs. I don't think that worked. I don't think they ever worked, but Dare didn't work either. Right. But you know who doesn't smoke weed? Me and your brother. That's who doesn't smoke weed. And you know why? Because if we got caught smoking weed, we get our asses kicked up and down the street. And this is in the 80s. We're talking about people with, sorry, your father, my brother. But yeah, it would have kicked our ass up and down the street, and that's what would have happened. So we don't think that, like, and neither one of us smoke weed. You guys were brought into a world where everybody, like 30% of the population smokes weed, 40% or something. It's like really high. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Extremely commonplace. Um, but y- your grandmother smokes weed or doesn't smoke weed. Your grandfather smoked weed. He doesn't smoke it anymore, but he did smoke for a very, very long time. Your grandmother didn't smoke weed. Now your mom, she went well beyond weed. So like weed was the least of her worries. When you're smoking crack, you know, doing meth, weed is the least of your worries. Your other grandmother, your mom's mom. You didn't think grandma was smoking crack, did you? I mean, she's got deep problems, but oh, okay. No, your mom's mom. Um, whereas your dad's mom, I mean, she probably smoked in her youth, but you know, not. I put it this way: I've never seen your grandma hit. Well, I've never seen that grandma hit weed. Of course, it was the '70s and '80s. I mean, no, she doesn't. But um, whereas your grandfather had done it pretty much since he was in the '70s. No, not as much as it is now. Not even close. But it was common among youth in those days. And even like now, your grandfather doesn't smoke weed anymore. But yeah, but no, like I think less than 5% of the population smoked weed. Then not close to 40 does. Is it arguable to say that you know? Because the whole point about making it illegal was, oh, it'll be illegal. Oh, definitely getting my ass kicked. Yeah. As a direct result of hitting THC. Well, you don't directly hit THC. Are you talking about as a, oh, yeah, oh, hell yeah. Like, did I smoke weed when I was younger? Yes. Did my mom punch me in the face? Also, yes. That worked for alcohol too, which I do not do anymore. Both gravity bongs, things like that. I was a drug addict, not a drug addict, but I was in the drug scene. I mean, I was 13. You could hardly call yourself an addict, but you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with weed. But yeah, I smoked bongs and blunts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Even they don't seem to have an issue with that one. They have an issue with discussion of most drugs, but not weed. It's not even registered. Like it no longer registers everybody as a drug, even though it's a drug. Like alcohol's a drug. Um, but alcohol and weed seem to be perfectly fine. I don't think you two. So it's cocaine. What's your point? It's different. You mean it's different when they extract it, squeeze out the juice, and concentrate it? Yes, it's different. Yeah, like they do with weed now. Oh, you got your ass busted over smoking and everything. It was like, their go-to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got busted smoking. I got my ass beat. I got my ass beat in paddle just for annoying my mom. Like many, many times, like across, like she beat my ass and she was chasing me around the house because I wasn't making it easy for her. And she swung and swung and swung, and finally the ping pong paddle broke across my ass, and I just laughed at her and kept on running. I was a shithead, and I deserved every bit of what punishment I got, plus more if they knew everything I did. Is- How does that make you feel? Is this a therapy session? Why is what? Why did I get a punishment for it? Or why did they beat my ass for it? Oh, shoot, dude. The stuff we did, the stuff me and Mike tried to do. All right, I'll put it this way. One day, me and Timmy and Danny and Mike were all little. We were like 8 or 9. And we decided we were going to make a super serum. So we crushed up spider's blood and everything else. And we're injecting each other with needles that we had stolen from Vicky because she was a nurse. And back then she had diabetic needles. Like, so we took it, and like that was the kind of stuff we were doing. Of course, we were like 8 or 9 years old. What the fuck? But did I deserve it? Hell yeah, I deserve it. That was fucking stupid, dangerous. But that was a norm. That wasn't extreme. We were the normal kids. The extreme kids did way worse. We didn't steal drugs. We stole needles. There's a difference. We made our drugs. That's what the crushing up the serum and the. Yeah, because we made you learn from our lessons. That you got attracted to online world, which is where most of your crimes are committed now, is in the online world. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have online until 1995, 96, which put us right around 15 years old. So there was no, I mean, we had a computer, but there was no online. So our computer was limited. Therefore, our use of the computer was limited to like programming stuff. And we did programming stuff, but we also went out and did shit because what else were we going to do? You know, you guys had computers that you, as far back as I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Mike, the only time Mike had one computer in the house, I think it was up until y'all were 3 or 4. And then after that, it was explosion of computers. By 5 or 6, you guys had computers. Just like my kids, they have tablets and phones and shit that we never had. Even Spitzer, younger than 10. Oh, you might have been 10. I think Connor was 8. You were 10 and Damien was 12. So yeah, you would have been 10. But like, Connor was 8 years old when he got a fucking computer. And even now, even though he doesn't do a whole lot of computing stuff, he is on a phone pretty much all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he uses it a lot. It's almost a come away of life. What'd you say, baby? You said something that I know, but you're allowed to say it again. Yeah, like we don't have phones, but Spencer does. Yeah, but like I said, that was ingrained in you guys. Uh, that's um um. Wait a minute, your older generation, you're talking to somebody like my age? I doubted. I didn't even bring my phone to work. Um, I don't think they use them more than you guys. I've had people at Arby's quit because they couldn't have their phone on them, and they were all 18 and 19-year olds. Did they have downtime? Downtime's a big part of that. We use them as doctors things, like they keep the kids quiet while we're at the doctors and stuff like that. Okay, so you had a lot of downtime. That's kind of the thing. But that seems like more of a one-off, not um, because while Connor doesn't use his phone much at work, and I didn't use my phone much at work, everybody else did use their phone at work. Those guys, Reese lives on his phone. Um, all the guys that worked at the stockyard, every waitress, they when they weren't doing it, they were sitting there click 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 click. You know what I'm saying? Downtime. Maybe that's why you select the jobs. What is click holding? Is that a thing? Okay. But no. Um, but like the manager never did. Go ahead. You there? No, you're still muted. There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It says my recording stop is giving me no option other than.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe I can get. No,
it
I
gives
have
you a
to
new
refresh.
track.
Okay,
There.
let me do this real quick.
There.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I should be good for a little bit.
Okay. Here's the thing. Statistically, um, younger people use their phones way more. This is according to specific usage patterns.
See, I
65
hear
and
that all the time, but like the same people I meet that say that typically like are on their phones more often than I am. Maybe not more often than like younger peers other than myself, but like that's
um,
just my anecdotal experience.
millennials and Gen Z typically use their phone more than Gen X and Boomers by quite a significant margin. Okay, if you're 50 to 64, you use 8%. If you're 30 to 39, you use 22%. If you're 19 to 29, you use 48% of online constantly. And if
48%
you're
of what, like total phone battery, or what's 48%?
of the time you're online,
Like out of the whole
of the whole
40% of
24-hour
the.
day,
Okay.
because boomers only use their phone about 4 hours a day, which is significant, but it's not, you know what I'm saying, overall. Uh, Gen Xers use it about 8 to 10%. Gen Z or millennials use about 22%, and um, your generation, Gen Z, uses about 48%. So overall, even if it's not statistically significant in your case, overall that is the data on it. Do what you want with it. But
Okay, and we're talking about the full 20 because I was just talking about like at work before. But on like a total day basis, that does sound more accurate because I use my phone a lot outside of work. Like even now, I'm playing on my like little Dokkan
sure.
battle clickers.
But we're not talking about necessarily because we're talking about overall usage of computers, really, or phones. Because if you flip from your phone to your computer when you get home, yeah, you may not be on your phone for 3, 4 hours, but you're on a computer for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, so you're still
You know
getting
what
a
I'm
lot of
saying?
screen time, a lot of the
Yeah,
blue lights, which
sure.
from what I understand is like bad for your health as well. It's like one of the main reasons screen time is such an issue is the way it wears down on your eyes
I
and
don't think it
such.
is. I think it has less more to do with physical activity and less to do with anything else.
That
And I
too.
know that you know what I'm saying. Like, let's be honest. In the olden days, and I know I used to live in the olden days. All right, when we did shit, we'd sit around working on cars and stuff like that as a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, I go versus Ron Epling used to run like a lot of the boys in the neighborhood because Ron Epling was old. He was not even a boomer. He was older than boomer. You know what I'm saying? He's dead now. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
we'd all sit around and he had knowledge about cars, and the boys would all work on their cars over there and shit like that. The Gen Xers and boomers would work on their cars
Yeah.
over there.
Is that one good? That Sprite?
Yes, I like it. Chocolate Sprite, it's real good.
Oh, okay, yeah, the tropical one. It's
Yeah,
like a perfect complement to their lemon lime flavor.
yeah, I like it better.
I have tried that. I didn't realize I thought it was a different new one. But
No,
you were
it's
saying,
Sprite Chocolate, but yeah. So I mean, it's just statistically, it's not true. Um, and I've actually pointed this out to Jamie one time because she's like, "You're on your own phone too much." I'm like, "I'm not on my phone any more than you are." Until one day we took, and I was like, "Let me see your phone," and it shows the actual usage, and she's like,
yeah.
she just shut up after that. She was like, "Oh, okay."
Because earlier
I was
I
like,
was
"It
like, how do they
just,
even test that? But I forgot they can just check phone usage. It stores it
mm-hmm.
itself.
It's good data because it's literal data." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, but and then Jamie just shut up after that. She was like, "Okay." We didn't argue anymore about it, but 'cause she was right. I wasn't using my phone too much, but I wasn't using it more than her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that would be like her casting stones from a glass house.
Right. I was like, I don't use it any more than you do. But from the perspective of her, you know what I'm saying?
It
She
seemed like
used
too
her.
much. But I
Okay.
guess it's because of yeah, good.
And we both used it on average 3 hours a day. She just did it intermittently, where that's why it didn't seem like much. She'd do like 10 minutes here or 20 minutes
Hmm.
there. Whereas I would be like maybe an hour on a blog or a debate, and then I'd shut my phone off for a long period of time and then hop back on it later. I
Hmm.
don't even want to know what it is now that fucking Spencer uses it. So it's probably like they're like, yeah, this guy needs to take a break.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it probably that's a fair point.
he probably uses it 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day. You know what
Huh.
I'm saying?
And that might skew the statistics because younger folks are on their phone. It'll be only their usage, but for older folks that do have kids and like they let their kids play on it, that could be affecting the usage data that they pull up for the study results. So it might actually be even lower of a percentage
Well,
for older generations phone
it's
use.
only 8% are online constantly. So that 8% may just be fucking kids that
Yeah, and I
Um,
feel like that makes sense.
whereas like 18 to 29 year olds, while they have kids, there's not a lot of them that have kids, especially since 29 is the average
Mhm.
age of having a kid now. You know,
Yeah, it's higher than it used to be.
but yeah,
Because typically, or previously, like people got kids at younger ages. Now
yeah, they don't.
it seems
18 to
like
20 used to be the number. Now,
25 seems like the youngest in my peer group for like having kids, like around 25.
well, even between you, Kate, Damien, Johnny, all y'all, Ryan, none of y'all have kids.
None
Not
of us
fucking one.
do, but that's only like half of the like peer group that I'm familiar with, and so like other people like people you're not familiar with, but like Kenny has kids, Dylan has kids.
I know
Uh,
Kenny is.
that's my point is like you're not familiar with them, so like that does kind of skew the statistic for my peer group a little bit. So you're right. Me, Johnny, Damien, Connor. None of us have kids, but I've got a couple friends who do have kids. Although counting Ryan, Tito, Nick. Well, I guess they weren't gonna have kids of their own anyway, so they aren't really like fair for that statistic. So I feel like they should be excluded from that. But Kenny and Dylan have kids, and they got theirs. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't know if Kenny has a kid. I think that they might be planning on a kid, but I think I'm mistaken. So it's just Dylan. So that is still 1 out of 6. And then if we count Corbin and Brian, that's 1 out of 8. Dakota, 1 out of 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I
So
forgot
that's 1 out of 9, like people my age that have kids.
when you were asking for my data, we could share data. So
For your data?
you were asking earlier about my data. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
You're
for one
like,
of the
what?
studies.
You were like, well, what are you reading? I can just show you next
Oh
time.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. We could just stream it.
Yeah,
That would have been much
just
simpler than
cast it.
me copy pasting it.
Yeah,
I forget that's an option on here.
yeah, me too. I forgot, but yeah, like I said, so it's definitely um um you would think that um um but I will say this: Gen X and Boomers probably spend more time on TV than they
That's
do.
probably true because most people my age, like, yeah, we don't really watch a whole lot of shows. Like we're on online constantly, but like usually,
But like
oh
Joey watches TV all day long. Now he's a sorry, he's a Gen X. Your
yeah,
grandmother spends time all day long, and she's a
I didn't
Gen
even think
X.
about that. But yeah, you're right because like a
And
lot of the older
then
folks that like talk to me, they'll be
yeah,
like, "Have you seen this show? Have you seen that movie? Have you seen this?" And they're like,
yeah.
How have you not seen these?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I guess I just don't watch as much TV as you do."
Well, it's weird because Dad, Mom, and me and Mike are all in the same group, Gen X,
Yeah,
because they were like 16 when they were pregnant. I'm saying like
yeah.
with Mike, and then 18 when they were me. So, and that the thing spanned like 22 years. You know,
Yeah,
say
so they
22
kind
years.
of you kind of mold into
Yeah,
like the same like
same peer
generation, or at
groups.
least
Like yeah,
bordering on the same generation.
yeah. Um,
But
I mean, it varies for
I
which
guess my
what you
dad watches a
do.
lot of TV, or at least he did. I don't know if he still does in like the past couple of years, but he did watch like a lot of movies and shows.
No, he still does. Like even with uh even with um even with what's it called they did. You know what I'm saying? Like um um the hell's it called? All right, all right. This is the way that Strauss Howe, which is the one that actually came up with generational theory in the 80s, defined each generation. The boomers were from 1943 to 1960. Uh, 13 generation or Gen X was 1961 to 1981. Um, millennial generation was 1982 to 2005. So you technically would be a millennial. So would Connor. All y'all would be millennials.
Oh yeah, I
And
guess we would be.
mhm. And like I trust them the most because they're like, why do you trust them? Like, because they're the ones that came up with the fucking theory. And then people will say things like, "Oh, the millennial generation is this year's." I'm like, no, it's not. Not according to. And this thing doesn't just argue the last four generations, what everybody argues. This thing goes back into the to the 1500s. You know what I'm saying? 1443, the Arthurian generation, the humanist generation, the Reformation generation, the Reprisal generation. So there is a well thought out theory for them. It wasn't just some arguing points. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I got a little like distracted. The history behind Strauss Howe generational theory is a little wilder than I was expecting.
What do you mean wild?
Strauss and Howe followed in 1993 with their second book, 13th Gen Abort, Retry, Ignore, Fail. Well, I don't know.
So
There's a lot of history behind this. This is the first I've heard
yeah,
of this.
well, they're scientists, and they were like they grouped the generations together for a reason.
described as a high school graduating cat class at the year 2000. Which it sounds like even now you've got like a movie or show going on in the background.
Yeah,
That
that's
millennial
Jamie
teens and
watching it, not
adults are
me.
recasting the image of youth from downbeat and alienated to upbeat.
Women watch
imagery.
more TV than men do, on average.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why all daytime TV used to be soaps and shit like that was before.
Which
Um,
that's wild to me. Mostly because like my frame of reference being my parents. Like my mom watches movies and shows way less than my dad does. Usually, if she watches
she
something,
didn't when she was younger, and she was chasing you guys around. She watched TV all day while she chased you guys around. When she got older, she started school and started doing that. But you don't remember that.
no, I don't really remember. I
In
don't know how young I
fact,
would have been.
when you were little and you were a baby, and David was a baby and Conrad hadn't been born yet,
Hmm.
her and mom used to go around and clean the house. That's when they were staying with mom. Go around and clean the whole fucking house, and then they would sit and watch soaps all day.
Grandma
And
Barb,
daytime do TV. Do what?
Grandma Barb,
No, Grandma. Um, Hudgens
Lisa.
or Lisa.
Okay.
I don't know what you call her, but
I
yeah.
mean, I just call her Grandma.
But yeah, like I said, so
I don't remember that. I don't remember that actually. You're right. I don't remember it at all.
but yeah, so that's why I go by theirs. I know everybody's like blah blah blah. Well, this or that, or you're off here. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going by the ones that discuss actually scientists that started the whole theory. Um, because like, and there is a difference between Generation Y and Millennial. They put Millennial in there now, but it's actually
Hmm.
Generation Y, which is what it was. Um, uh, because Millennial actually is anybody that was born like you're also a millennial generation, meaning you're all born before the turn of the millennium. Or sorry, after the turn of millennium. Damien was born
I was gonna
before the turn
say.
of millennium. He's not a millennial. You are.
Okay.
Okay, and
Well,
they
I'm
try to
seeing what I'm
they
seeing
try
is.
to overlap the generation Y. If you click on millennial generation, it'll actually explain millennials are also known as Generation Y or Gen Y. And that's why Gen X. You know what I'm saying?
I'm seeing it lists that
And Gen
millennial
Z.
generation is specifically. Oh, it says oldest members were described as the high school graduating class of the year 2000. So I guess that
Yep.
doesn't include youngest members.
Like I
Okay.
graduated in 1999. Uh, I was 18 before I was, and that's
Oh, so
kind of
you're
like the delineation between what is millennial and what's not millennial. It's just that. Um,
okay.
Not that I give a shit, but the point is that was their discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? And you can go and dig deep into it, and if you want to dig into it one day, we will.
I
But
mean, I do, but I have to read through it and like really familiarize myself with
sure,
the
yeah.
concept first, because otherwise I'll just be like taking bits and pieces and being like, oh, well, what about this? And then like, what do you think of this? And
Isn't
that
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 what
whole
we do
thing.
on? That's what we do on this show anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So like, there's no
Eh,
real reason to stop
Ain't none
doing
of
that
us
now.
fucking an astrophysicist, yet we talk about physics all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Ain't none of us are aerospace scientists, yet we talk about it all day
I think
long.
it's fair. I feel like there's like a large push. I don't know if this started with my generation or if this is like a pre-existing thing, but there's like a tendency for people to be like, you can't really discuss these things because you don't know enough about them. But it's also like, you
No, you
know,
can discuss anything you want.
yeah, exactly. Like
How
even if we
seriously?
don't, even if it's not an uneducated discussion, it's still like how are you not going to talk about something you're
Well,
aware of?
like,
And
first of
how else would
all,
you even get into it?
all right, it's not like they're like, sorry, Mr. President, we can't discuss the nuclear bomb with you because you're not a nuclear scientist. like, like you still have to, beat the world and discuss it with them. So you got to dumb it down like I'm five to get it through to me. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn the stuff too. Like the stuff I was
That's true.
teaching to you.
Talking
That's
about
how
the other
ever.
day with the
Yeah,
the logic gates for quantum computers.
right. I'm not a
Yeah,
master of that. I'm a well informed guy of that. I wouldn't consider I'd be
yeah.
if
You can
if we were
help break
doing
down and relay some of the
yeah.
information.
If we did intermediate, moderate, and if we did novice, intermediate, and advanced, I'd be moderate. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
know
and then
I
I'd
know
be the
quite
novice.
right. And
Oh,
some guy
how
that's much smarter than me would be the advanced.
How cool would it be if we could get one of the advanced people on quantum computers to come in and try to break it down for us further? Because I feel like that'd be sick.
It would be, but also there isn't a lot of people doing that, and
That's
even the
true.
people like because you see like these like Professor Dave and shit like that. They're not actually professors, and they're not actually that versed in the subject. Um, they are colloquially versed like we are. They have discussions about it, things of that nature. But
Mhm.
uh, you know,
But getting to actually like be able to toy with and test like quantum computers, it would be a hard endeavor. So there wouldn't be a lot of people that really meet that criteria.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, how many nuclear scientists are there in the world?
I don't know.
I guarantee it's less than 10,000 in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Nuclear scientists,
Yeah,
maybe 20,000 if we're
and
pushing
ten
it in the
thousand sounds
whole
like a lot, but
world.
that's out of multiple billions. I think they said
Yeah,
recently the projection for
it's like 8
uh
billion or something like that.
they moved it up.
Oh, it might be nine, but well,
How
no,
many
because
people?
I thought it was going
No.
down, not up.
What I saw, well, I see as of 2026, it's still estimated at 8.3 billion. So it sounds like it leveled out. I was hearing earlier last year.
8.3 billion. Oh, 8.3 billion. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about right.
last year I thought I had heard, or I'd heard, and I guess it might have just been a hoax, but that they had changed that to say 12 billion. That it was we had
No fucking way,
grown
dude.
in
That's
12
it.
billion.
We not the birth rates would not be as low as they are.
Current world population is over 8.2 billion as of 2025. Projections suggest
And
the
here's the
global
thing.
population could reach 12 billion by the end of the century.
Yeah, but it's not. It's actually going down because the two biggest is that China and India, and they suspect that China has less than 800 million people. They're just billing themselves as higher, but they don't think that actually. It's not that they don't. It's that they had that many, and their generation died off because they had the one child policy for so long.
They did.
You
And
know, for
that
like
ended.
30,
How
40
long ago did that
years.
end?
Oh, I think
China one
'90s or
child.
2000s or something.
That's
Oh, no, when the
pretty
one child policy.
recent.
Yeah, it was like, well, I think it was like 2015 or something.
Which is weird. That why did they have that exactly?
Now they have a three-child policy because they had fucking a billion people.
No, it was too much.
They thought it was too much, and then they realized, oh shit. Then no, because we tell everybody like hold on. It started in 1949 and ended in oh no, sorry, 1979 and ended in
Wow, they must still be dealing with like the aftermath of that because it
in the
says
80s. They allowed certain exceptions for 2 second children. In the 90s, um um uh, by 2007, 36% of the population were subjected to a strict one child limit, but they didn't permitted to have a second child. If the first was a daughter, 9.6 Chinese couples were permitted two children regardless of their gender, and 1.6 mainly Tibetans that have no limit. Okay, so if you're Tibetan, you know,
then you're an exception to the rule for some reason.
there's what? Love you.
Hi, Jamie,
But yeah, I think it
and bye,
stopped at 20.
Jamie.
I think by 2015 they're allowed three children.
Which it's so wild that they have like a rule regarding that because it says that they've faced like a lot of economic and cultural imbalances as a result of it, but then they're still like limiting the number of children. It seems like at that point they should just lift the policy entirely.
Yeah, in 2015 they announced plans to abolish the one child policy. Um, so they'll roughly start from there. So about 11 years ago, but it went on for like 30, 40 years. So
It did.
Yeah,
And I've heard of terrible things happening as like a result of the one child policy. Like, what happens if I've heard that people will have more than one kid and then hide the kid from like officials.
I
So
think
like,
some can, but if they catch them, you know what I'm saying, severe punishments. We're talking China here. We're not talking.
well, how severe? Because I do remember there being severe punishment. I just don't remember exactly what it was
Well, it could be up into including death because that's everything for that state.
for China.
China, sure, China is a tyrant state in that it tells its people what to do. Period. Like, you know what? They're like, oh, they had COVID lockdowns. Their lockdowns and considered them literally boarding them into buildings, and if they
That's
died,
right.
they died. You know what I'm
We
saying?
did talk about that.
Hmm.
Is what's his name? Xiao Ming? Is that still like the big Chinese leader right now?
Ming?
Ming? Is it Ming? Xiao? The guy that for a while Yao Ming? No, Yao Ming's the basketball guy. What the hell was his name? Um, Xi Jinping?
Well, Xi Jinping, you're talking about.
Is that the same guy, or am I thinking of Mao Zedong? I guess it must be Xi Jinping. But it was he got really mad that people were like comparing him to Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh no, you're probably talking about North Korea's dictator.
No, no, it is the Chinese dictator
Oh, was it?
or leader Xi Jinping. China bans Winnie the Pooh film after comparisons to him.
Oh,
I remember like there were some games that like would come from China and they would hide like pictures of him as Winnie the Pooh in them.
yeah. We have the third largest population in the world.
We have to be behind only China and
India.
India. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
we have like 350
India,
million.
how much does India have? Because they have an insane amount of people. They still have like
1.4,
caste systems.
and they're number
1.4
one.
billion.
Yeah, 1.4 billion. They're top of the chart now.
That's insane. I'm surprised they didn't try for any kind of like preferably not in the same way that China tried their one child policy, but I'm surprised they didn't do anything to be like hey, let's try to get people to have less kids.
Um, but yeah, populations. They range from Iran to Germany to this is all the top 20. You know what I'm saying? Bangladesh, Russia, us, China, India, Mexico, Japan, Egypt, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Japan's high up there. That's kind of
Yeah.
surprising. It's a very small place, Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an island. I mean, we could probably house close to 40 or 50 trillion people on Earth.
It, that many?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but at that point it would
There
get
are
very
literally
confined.
places in the United States where there's like 10, 20 miles between residents. There's massive land.
That is true. We do have there's still a lot of land here that's going unused. Most of it's like
Even in China
a
and
lot of
places like
woods.
that, there. Like as far as we're talking about, they're like there's no landmass for them. Like absolutely,
So what made them decide to go down the route they did with the one child policy if they had so much more space to be able to store people?
because they were dying off. Every generation was getting older, but they weren't having new generations of people. That can kill a population. Because all right, imagine this.
Wait, but they were restricting the amount of people that were being born.
Because they had too many at first. And then they had then there the smaller portion was the too few. As people age into retirement, if you want them to be able to retire, you're gonna have somebody to foot the bill. And that's the next generation of people. Except there was no next generation of people. Or it was a very small, even now
Hmm.
we're having that problem. Less of a problem than them, but still, there's like 100, what is it? I think there's only like 40 million millennial or Gen Zs or whatever you call it here. All right. All right.
Well, I mean, people are still being born into Gen Z, aren't they?
No, Gen Alpha's already out. Hell, Gen Beta's already out.
Is that where we're at now? Is Generation Beta?
That's what Little Man is.
Imagine being
Mm.
born in Beta. That's sad. That's rough.
But yeah. Um, the silent generation is 80 and older. That's about 2% of the population. Baby boomers about 12.9%. Gen X is about uh 16.7% of the population. Millennials are 21.2% of the population.
Okay. So it's
Then
going
Gen
up.
Z is 22.9. They're still going up, but they're going up at a much slower rate. Like, all right.
So we're kind of just leveling out at the same population ultimately, like the same
No,
population count.
we're decreasing. We're just the curve hasn't hit the other way yet, but it's coming down. Like, okay, like the difference between baby boomers and Gen Z is about 4 or 5% of the population. The difference between Gen X and millennials is about 5% of the population. The difference between millennial and Gen Z is about 1% of the population, and Gen Alpha, it's about the same. 1% difference of the population. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it would make sense of the number.
Do what?
It would make sense that some of the numbers for older generations are skewed because only so many of them would still be alive and be counted for that
Oh yeah,
statistic.
yeah. That's not how many were born.
Do we have a study for how many were born in each
Yes,
generation?
it tells you there's like 100 millennial. I hold on. I'll give me 1 second. I'll bring it up. And I'll bring it up on the screen. So hold on.
Yes, thank you. So we're both referring to the
Okay.
same data.
All right. Yeah, Gen Alpha is 51% of the or 51 million people. Gen Z was 71 million people. Millennials were 74 million people. And millennials was the last generation where it peaked out. Before that, it was 65, 64, 13 million. Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to bring this up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This is exact, but it's a rough. But you see where like it was an increase, decrease, decrease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, start having less kids. Period.
What's that number on the left that says 45 to 60? Is that
45 to 60. Where?
that column? Oh, it's just age range. Okay, their
Oh
current
yeah.
age range for that. Okay.
Yeah.
The
45 to 60.
silent generation.
Yeah, that was the one before the boomers. But yeah. All right.
Yeah, it went up and then it started thinning down.
Yeah. Because Gen X was 65 million. Every baby boomer had at least 2.1 kids, and then they had close to three, and then Generation Z declined by 3 million, and then declined by 20 million. You know what I'm saying?
Which how much of that is like environmental factors? Like there has to be some.
What do you mean environmental factors? That could mean a lot of
Well,
things.
yeah. Well, I remember hearing like a lot of folks my age when like that conversation comes up about like plans to have kids, or a lot of times there's like they doubt whether or not it's like a good time to bring kids into the world because they feel like socially things are very poor.
You mean doomsdayists?
I
That
mean,
usually
more
okay.
or less.
Typically, well, no, I'm not saying typically that doesn't affect how many kids people have.
Well, anytime it's come up with like my peers or people my age, it does seem like a big deterring factor for
No,
them.
the decline was of millennials was because of birth control became popular. It's also the splitting of families.
That makes
Splitting
sense
families
too.
mean
And then
less
abortion
less
also.
kids.
So abortion and birth
Abortion, yeah,
control.
yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said,
Well, we do also have from previous generations, like in cases where a kid was raised or born, and then like for whatever reason the parents are no longer like part of the picture, they go to foster homes.
um, but yeah, like I said, Gen Alpha and Gen Beta will be less. If there's 50 million kids in Gen Alpha, and they're not having at least replacement rate kids, it's going to be less by how much, whatever, but it's going to be less. So there'll be, say, 40 million Gen Betas, and then um, I don't know, what is
Well,
Kappa?
eventually, if you scroll back up,
Um,
so eventually it would decline back towards the point of the silent generation. But then after that, you don't think that there would be another boom?
no, there's nothing to boom. What was causing these was not the same thing that's causing these. The decline was caused because people are I mean, unless you're ready to go throw women back in cages,
What?
not
What
really.
are we
But
talking about?
Okay, all right. You can't have birth control. You can't have abortions. That would probably fix the problem. More women would have kids, therefore more generations will do it. But since no matter what, you're allowed to have birth control, and even if they abolish abortion, you're still allowed birth control. It means exactly what it means: birth control, less birth when you want it only.
Right.
Oh,
But there would
right.
still be like a very large population that would have kids. I still feel like there would be at some point a large boom once like the number of the population thins down to where
It
there's
could thin down, and then because the people that are having kids are Christians and Mormons and religious, we could have ultra religious society. That's a possibility.
I mean that's well, I feel like we're
No,
already
that's a
at
certainty. It's not a possibility. The only people
well
that are
you said
really having
possibility.
kids, I know, but like it's why I changed it. But
Okay.
it's almost a certainty because it's the only people that are having kids. Or that's why you see more religious people all of a sudden. Have you not noticed that Gen Z and Gen Alpha are far more religious than millennials were?
No, I can't say I've noticed that, but also like I don't
Really?
really interact with Gen Z and Alpha. Well, Gen Z would be still my peer group.
Yeah. But
I mean, for as long as I've been alive, like religion, specifically Christianity, has always been like a very present thing in the environment.
recent studies indicate that church attendance among younger adults, particularly Gen Z and millennials, is increasing, marking a notable shift from previous trends of the decline. Um, but
Huh, it says there's a boom in that specifically in 2019. Highest
it
weekly, huh?
it really won't matter because the like Gen Z men are leading the church attendance, and Gen Z women are leaving churches at higher rates. But when a woman gets with a man, she'll do whatever he wants, statistically. But yeah.
So are you saying that they'll end up going to church because they're with a religious man?
Yeah, just because they're with a religious person. Like Jamie doesn't care much about church, but if I wanted to go to church, she would go to church with me. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? But if a man typically isn't, he'll be
Like if the wife's religious and the guy's not religious, he typically
yeah,
wouldn't go with the girl to church.
not typically. I mean, yes, there are some, but not on average. Or it's an aching thing when they do. They're like, oh god damn, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
dragging them to church. But um, people realize they need church and they need God and they need all these things on average to um. And here's a fine example of that. I'm religious. I go
Hmm.
to church. I have 7 kids. You guys aren't religious, or at least not conventionally religious. You don't follow the doctrines of God, where there's a be
That
fruitful and
is true.
multiply. None of you have kids.
That is correct.
Connor may have some kids, and he's already what 22,
May have some kids. Yeah, he's
mm,
like 22, right? Well, no, 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 he's a little older than that.
23.
23.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because he'll be 24 later this year. Yeah,
Mike had 3 kids by 24.
he did. And that is like a
Yeah,
stark contrast, but that's using like two specific groups of people as like the contrast comparison. Because I don't feel
Mike
like
was
we can just use
no, but Mike was raised in a quasi religious household. He
yeah,
went
but
to church
he was very much against that religion, so I don't think that had
after.
any influence.
No, I think it does. I think it has the impact on people that you should have kids, and it did for Mike. Whereas generations that do not believe that, okay, it's always like, do you know what were worse? It wasn't first generation Nazis. Yeah, they were douches, but I don't think they really believed all the bullshit. But the second generation were indoctrinated. All they knew was Nazism. So the second generation Nazis were brutal.
Hmm.
They're like, Jews are scum. Jews are, you know what I'm saying? Jews are the evilest pieces of crap on the planet. They were. the younger Nazis versus Adolf Hitler, who was like what 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? There's that disparity there where the first generation sells something, the second generation buys it at least mostly wholesale.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do think that I had an impact on Mike's kids. I do think it had an impact on you guys as kids.
His decision to have kids young, or do you mean specifically
His
the
decision
shift
to
in
have kids,
religion?
period. But
Well, yeah, it obviously had an impact on us. We would not exist if not for
he
that
in
decision
the
being
time
made.
that your mom and them got married, that was what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to get married, have kids,
Mhm.
raise your kids, all that stuff, which they do, and they do quite well. But
Yeah.
um, Mike didn't want to push the religious aspect, so you never got the be fruitful and multiply. It is your duty to have children, any of that stuff, and none of you guys do.
No, no, that's not true. They did
Nope,
push that as kids.
no, they didn't. Not really.
No, he tried really hard to press an interest in sex on us as kids. 100%.
An interest in sex, not interested in having kids.
Well, that would be like a direct pipeline.
I mean, you have to have sex to have kids, but then again, technically you don't. You could just use your sperm and put it out there if it
Yeah,
was
that's
just
true.
about having kids. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you try to, and he didn't try to push. He tried to teach you all about sex,
Well, he
but
did it
none of
like
your.
since we were 6, and at times when I was like extremely uncomfortable with it, he still made us do it. So I would absolutely say it was pushed on us, not just.
No, that's just your whining generation, but it is. It's you whining about your life.
No, it's a direct response to what you were saying before about whether or not he like tried to push those values onto us, and I do think that he actively tried to push values on us that would lead to specifically procreation.
No, like here's the thing. Like I agree with you on one aspect. I just don't agree with both aspects of it.
Mhm.
I agree that he tried to encourage you in the ways of sex because that's what a father's supposed to do. Really, that's what a father's supposed to do. All right. I disagree with your position that he pushed you in the way of procreation. I don't.
He has for a very long time. Like as soon as I turned 18, that was like a conversation he was constantly having and bringing up. And
Yeah, but those are mild conversations compared to the conversations that our generations had. You know what I'm saying?
well, I don't see why like the distinction between generations matters. Like the end
Well,
result is he still did like
that's
try to
like
instill that
saying
value to us.
he tried really hard, but he didn't smack you upside the head. My parents tried really hard. They smacked me upside the head. Which one do you
Mhm.
think was more forceful?
The second's more forceful, but I'm not. Nobody's talking about force. I'm talking about
Actually,
it
that's
was
what
a
we're talking
value.
about.
It is a value he did try to instill in us. That's still like, regardless of how much effort went into it, that is still something that he tried to do.
Casually passing a comment is like when your mom's like, "When you gonna give me grandkids?" Ain't the same thing. It's like I felt real pressure to have kids. Real pressure to have kids. You don't. Like your parents do not pressure you to have kids. They want you to have kids. They encourage you to have kids. They do not pressure you to have kids. I felt pressured constantly by my mom that I needed to have kids and that I wasn't having them early enough. My kid already had both his kids by the time I had his third kid was born. He's just like a biscuit. Caleb's just a biscuit younger than him. Finally, like a year and a half later, I had Caleb, and then I felt like, okay, now I'm starting to do this.
I feel like you're directing or associating like the result of the effort with the effort itself. Because like I still felt pressure for that. Like there was pressure, but just because I didn't fall through and adhere to that pressure doesn't mean that that pressure didn't exist.
Actually, I don't see any real pressure. I think Mike did the whole okay, like this. Okay, um, all right, you you haven't had sex, and
That is
as far as
correct.
I know, up to this date, and that possibly could change with your
And I
brother,
would say that
but he's the only
decision on
one.
my I would say that my decision on that like rooted ultimately in the amount of pressure I felt regarding it.
Yes, but your brother didn't feel that pressure.
Damien didn't.
Either one.
Connor.
Like if Connor started having sex, he started having sex like this year, or maybe last year in 2025.
He
But
went to prom with like 3 girls. It's entirely possible. Like he was
he
a.
did. He was still a virgin. As of when I worked with him in 2023, he was still a virgin. We had a discussion about that.
Okay.
Now that might have changed in the last year and a half or whatever, 2 years. But
Well, Connor is also like a very private guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that he just didn't feel comfortable out
then
talking
why
to
would he bring
people
it up to
about.
me at all? It wasn't something I brought up. It was something
Okay,
he
he brought it
discussed.
up.
Yeah. Um.
I don't know.
Uh.
I wasn't there.
I'm not an invasive guy. You know that.
Mhm.
We really just started talking recently.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not invasive. When you want to be a part of it, I'm all there and ready to be it. But when you weren't, I'm like, hey, it sucks. I miss my nephews, but they're men. You know what I'm saying? But the point was, I think he was being honest. I do. I just don't
Okay.
think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he was lying about it.
Yeah.
Especially that.
Instead
Especially
of me
lying to be a
cashing out, well,
virgin. Now, if he had lied the other way, I can believe it.
yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah, I feel like you're right. We can just assume that he had no reason to lie on that. I don't know. I was like casting doubt. I guess just my nature to take different angles on things.
Because
But
Connor's a contrarian, so you're like, and
that
he
that
is.
too. Like with him, I do feel like it's very hard to tell like when he's being direct or when he's like kind
But
of
we've
skirting
had
around
heart to
something.
hearts where you just know somebody's being honest with you, and just
Yeah.
like men, you've had some heart to hearts where you know somebody's being honest with you, you know. Um, but no, like I said, I don't think he like. All right, my girls are already talking about having kids, which scares the living shit out of me. But they are.
Yeah.
All right, Alistair's talking about having kids. He wants kids.
Hmm.
He's already talking about it. Like, and I didn't like
You
really.
didn't pressure them.
I didn't personally pressure them, but they were pressured from the family. My mom, my grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
Which also, I imagine, means they're pressured less often. So, like, maybe there's like an inverse effect here where, like, the more it's pressured, or the more directly it's pressured, the less response it receives, and then the less pressured, the more response it receives, potentially.
No,
No?
no. I'll put it this way. All right, Mike had a certain amount of pressure on to have kids. He did.
Mhm.
Just like I had a certain amount of pressure to have kids, which I did. Valerie didn't pressure her kids to have kids, and a lot of them don't. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Okay. So there's
the
not.
girl has a lot of kids, but that's it. James has one, possibly two. All right, but that's it pales in comparison to what me and Mike had in kids. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even Jenny only had three kids. You know what I'm saying? So um, there wasn't a lot of pressure from Val to have kids, and out of her five kids, she had um five total grandkids.
So that's
So
one
not
each.
even no, it's not one each,
Or
but
I
it's
guess.
five total grandkids.
Yeah.
Matt didn't have kids, nor did Joey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the point is that procreation is a part of um like mom had two kids, and between those two kids, she has 10 grandkids.
Okay.
Valerie had four or five kids, four kids, four kids, and she had sorry four, and she has five grandkids. So that lets you know the exponential rate the pressure mom was versus the pressure of Val. And Mike will tell you if he's honest. He'd probably tell you that he felt some pressure to have kids,
That
and
I
that
imagine.
yeah, and that didn't just come from our mom. It came a little from our dad. We had
Yeah,
the
the fact that
expectations of
the
our
first
dad
thing
too.
they did after, like, finding out that she was pregnant was immediately get married, that does feel like a direct response
Sure.
to that pressure.
Well, me and dad had a discussion when me and Kim got married.
Mhm,
I asked him because I asked him about it, and he's like, honestly, I didn't think there was any other option. I was like, really? He's like, no. He's like, back then when you got somebody pregnant, you married them. Period.
mhm.
The end. And I was like, okay, that's the 70s for you.
Yeah,
60s, 70s, 50s, they were all like that. You know what I'm saying?
it
They're
was
like,
a very common experience then,
well,
it
it was
seems
the
like.
responsible thing to do, the mature thing to do. People don't consider that responsible or mature now. They're like, well, you can raise the kids, but you don't have to be together. That's a very thing that's pushed now that isn't
Mhm.
wasn't pushed before. But yeah, so do I think? I mean, the numbers do not lie. You know what I'm saying? The numbers don't lie. Like no matter how much, there is a deficit in breeding, and it's not. Here's the thing: you and Cayden and you, Damien and Connor are three very attractive men, and I don't mean that in some sort of way. You're both well. Two of you are over 6 feet tall, which gives you, some
Yeah,
advantages.
I agree with
Um,
that. I that's something
you're
I've been
muscular.
reminded of
You're
often.
you're not you're not dumpy fat. Like
I got
me
a
and your
little bit of
dad
belly
are.
now. I got a little bit of pudge.
Yeah,
I've
but
gained a
it's
little bit.
it's not it's
It's
not.
not crazy though. It's definitely
Yeah.
not crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got chins. You ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You're within the range that women would date you
Mhm.
or marry you. Yet they're not.
That's not from like lack of effort on their end.
Is it?
Is it from lack of effort on their end?
Sure.
No,
Because I believe the one that wants to have sex the most is Damien.
no. I'm talking about the girls. Like it's not their lack of
Oh yeah,
trying.
yeah. I mean, well, girls don't try. Girls get tried upon. So if you're not gonna try, they're not gonna.
No, they've come out and like they've directly like asked
Yes,
me at
yes.
times.
People have asked you out, and I'm not saying that's not a little more thing, but overall, the average girl isn't gonna ask you out.
Like some
You know.
random passerby on the street. That's true.
Okay. Like you ever walk down the street and a girl whistle at you? It's different when a guy whistles at a girl. They do that all the time.
I've
When
had
girls
both
whistle at you,
genders whistle at me. Yeah, I've been catcalled by
okay,
both sides.
okay, but all right. The gay thing aside,
Uh huh.
no, but the whole thing is that you don't. What's the way to put it? All right, when you're talking about attraction, you're gonna see a far like even women that'll be attracted to you won't tell you because
That's
it's
true.
on you and like I said,
Usually, you just pick it up from like
sure,
behavior.
but like every time I ever got like whistled at or something, hell, I had somebody pull up. Me and Melissa were in the car. This is when we were dating. This is before
Hmm.
Kim, before all of them. Me and Melissa were dating. We pulled up to this fucking light. This girl pulls up and she's like, "My friend thinks you're fucking gorgeous." I was like, and I looked over there like, "Oh shit, Melissa's gonna kill me." You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I had people. One girl pulled up in the drive-through and was like, "Oh my god, you want to see my new boob job?" And showed me her tits right in the Taco Bell parking lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
very
so
forward.
I knew I was decently attractive. Still am. Still can get
Hmm.
women. You know what I'm saying? There was
You still got
no.
women.
Yeah, but that's the point. And like the most I've had at one time is 3 women, like 3 girlfriends. Okay, so just like your dad, getting women isn't an issue for you
Hmm.
guys. It's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like you may not want it, but if you went to go get it, it would be incredibly hard. Not hard for you, but harder than it would be for me or Mike.
That's probably true because there is like a lack of experience in correlation.
Sure. And even girls are losing the experience because they don't have as much experience with guys as they used to. Anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make is that your generation is like I said, you're not unattractive. You're not okay. Lawrence never had kids because he's ugly. He's fat. And the only thing he had got going for him was he was kind of tall
I
with a
feel like
big bald
it's a
spot and
little
red
deeper than
hair.
that. I feel like it's less so his lack of attractiveness
Yeah,
as a
social skill
defining.
doesn't help,
Yes,
but it's
it was
not
the way he viewed
all.
himself. I feel like was a big
Okay.
part of it. It was like ran a lot of his behavior.
Sure, like I said, social, everything's a detractor in some way. And if you have
Hmm.
everything plus you're not very like if you had a great personality, the fact that he's tall could get him in the door. Women like
Yeah.
tall men. All right. If he would start working out, it'd make him more attractive. Girls would be more interested.
Even without that, there's some girls who are specifically like attracted to fat men. Cause like queso was like a big talking point the past year. For like what women
Sure, if
considered
you
like a
carry yourself well. If you
yes,
carry yourself well. Like you see the pot belly guys that are like Latino and they get some women.
yes they
Um
do.
because they got confidence and swagger, but what they don't have is attractiveness, not conventional attractiveness.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the girl was choosing between you and another guy, she may settle with that guy, but she's going to try to pick you first.
that's fair. That's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying? On average, like even Johnny's kind of small.
He's thin, yeah.
No, I mean short.
Oh, that too.
Johnny's shorter than me.
He is actually. I never really like thought about, it, but you're right. He
Yeah,
is kind of short.
yeah.
I have to look down at him.
I have to look down at him too. That's the point. Um, but he's probably like 2 inches shorter than me. Maybe, so he might be 5'6".
Which he has
But
no trouble with ladies at all. It's
yes,
like,
you can overcome some of
yeah,
it. Like no, not every woman's gonna get a tall man because there ain't that many tall men in the world.
I suppose
Like
that's true.
they're like
America's
there's like 2.2% of the population of the world that's of guys that are you know but that are over 6 feet tall. And when you go well over 6 feet tall, it drops down to like 0.02% of the population or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
There's not a lot of Yao Mings like walking around.
Hello.
He's absurdly tall. Ryan, welcome
Hey.
in. This might be something you could weigh in on. We're talking about
girls.
yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a
Good point.
firm believer into the cooties germ theory.
Cooties germ
That's
theory.
probably
So,
true.
what is that,
Oh,
like a
if you
5-second
use
rule?
UV light, you can get rid of those germs.
Ooh. Would that work with STDs?
I don't know. Rub it across your
UV
syphilis
light.
dick and find out.
Well, I'd have to get syphilis first. I don't feel like that's worth. I don't feel like doing that just for the sake
Science
of
isn't worthy cause. That's what you're about to say.
Science is
You
a
were
worthy
about
cause. It's not.
See, there you go. Get syphilis.
What is this?
But then what if it doesn't work?
What is this? The freaking Tuskegee experiments?
Sure. No, we're not going to give fake medicine boards. No, but yeah. The point of the ski experiment was that it didn't prove anything.
Ooh, UV radiation does say it can help.
I mean,
can provoke reactivation of herpes. Never mind. That seems like it hurts it if anything.
I mean, Unit 731 gave us a lot of science, but I wouldn't replicate it.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to drop an atomic bomb before you know what's going to do to the citizens. Okay.
That's not true because they tested it before they used it on the citizens, and they knew.
No,
exactly
they tested it in the middle of the desert. That was it.
Well,
They only tested it one time before they dropped it on them. It wasn't like later testing.
I think they could assume safely that most of the citizens would get blown away.
I feel like we could all agree it was nothing good. To be fair.
Whoa. What wasn't good? Tuskegee? Definitely not good.
I was saying dropping bombs on people.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you're dropping it on.
Well, yeah.
There's some people There's some people that come to mind. Oh, yeah. There's some people that come to mind. I'm like, hey, that might be useful.
To drop a nuclear bomb on like one person.
Hey, you gotta get them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of collateral damage, but that's fair. That's fair. I'm not agreeing with that actually.
No, you said that's fair. One mother of all bombs to get somebody in the city. That's how you get them.
And like 100,000 other people at least.
Oh well, no, like millions. We're talking about the mother of all bombs.
It's like Israel, where it's like, oh, we know there's like a lot of citizens in here, but there's like one of them's got to be a terrorist, you know?
Yeah, that is true. We have done that.
What?
Drop bombs.
Well, we leveled the whole. We killed every man, woman, and child in Dresden. Every man, woman, and child in the entire city was obliterated, and that was conventional bombing.
Oh, I'm not even familiar with that.
I killed like 70,000 people, which was.
You killed them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did I hear that wrong? Josh, I didn't know this about you.
God damn, Josh, what the fuck were you up to in your past?
You don't want to know. You weren't around back then.
That's a fair point, Ryan. That's before our time, and maybe we leave it that way.
Okay, Dresden was.
I'm just imagining Josh like fucking Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear Rising.
It was estimated between 22,000 and 25,000 deaths, with some exaggerated claims suggesting much higher number. 70,000 was the number I heard, but either way, you know what I'm saying.
Conventional bombing, it
and you don't know if this like some girl that he was pissed off about said he had a tiny dick, so he decided to bomb him, because things like that do factor in to stuff like that. We never act like it does, but it always does. That's why.
So we do agree that men are emotional leaders at times.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by emotional leaders? I think they're better than women at making decisions against their own interests. Women are self-preservationists by their very nature, so it's really hard. Are
men not self-preservationists by their nature as well?
Well,
I'd actually have to disagree with that.
Really? Because how many people kicked fucking girls off the Titanic boats? No, they didn't. That didn't happen. Because...
Wait. Oh, I thought you said women were self-preservationists.
No, women were self-preservationists.
You did say that.
Yeah, they're self-preservationists. They were concerned about their lives. They weren't concerned about their husbands and shit like that was dying on the Titanic.
But self-preservation comes at risk, like anytime you give birth, right? So any woman that's had kids, like, had to have sacrificed that
Yeah,
sense of
they also
self-preservation.
literally get drugs that makes them forget that was the case. Like their body
What do you mean?
produces it, but um
It makes them forget they were
oxytocin.
pregnant.
No, it makes them forget the pain of pregnancy. That's why they get it. That's why they get pregnant again. Otherwise, if the pain of pregnancy was remembered, you would never
Whoa.
get pregnant again.
Well, that's kind of scary. So the only way to
No, I'd
have
have
more
to.
kids is, like, realistically,
I
is
mean, I'd have to
to
disagree
forget
with
the
that
trouble
because
of
there
it.
were like years and years women didn't have drugs, but they were pumping out children, especially like in the
Wait,
Middle Ages.
Right. It's not drugs. It's the oxytocin that their brain produces. It makes them literally
Oh,
forget
I thought
about
you
the
said
pain of child
drugs.
support. I mean, it's a drug in the sense that it drugs their brain. It's also why they're stupid when it comes to, like, how many times has somebody been like, I'm in love, I'm gonna go murder this guy's husband or whatever. Oxytocin floods the brain.
How many
And
times has that happened?
well, more times in history than we would like. I don't have a number on that, but
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what the
but
number
love
would be
triangle
either.
deaths is pretty common. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in love with this person. I'm gonna kill his wife.
I have heard that before.
I mean,
I've heard that in
I'm sorry.
like both genders though.
No, it's both genders, but
I mean, women tend to care more about their family and those around them. While I feel like,
yeah,
I feel like,
it's
well, I feel like,
not.
go ahead.
I'm actually gonna play
Sorry.
devil's advocate for Josh here in a second. Because
Oh,
Ryan,
I'm about to play devil's advocate for him. So hold on.
Okay, you be the
Hold
devil
on.
first. I'll take my turn after.
Okay, what I was gonna say was that women are self-preservationists by their very nature when it comes to things like women and children.
Hmm.
They do not
Okay.
preserve themselves from men, and yeah, I agree with that. And that's a biological thing. It's, you know, it's a literally a procreation thing. It's why women, they can mourn the loss of their own relationship that they gave up. Most men have a sense of, yeah, I really fucked up, blah blah blah, and they'll mourn that part of it, but they won't mourn the, I don't know why I gave up on this man. I loved him so much.
Could you
What I'm saying? Like,
rephrase that? Could you rephrase that last part?
which the love, well, I don't know why I love a man so much, and they mourn it.
Oh, I don't know. So you're saying like they don't know why they love the woman so much?
No, the women don't know why they love the man so much, and they will continue to mourn him well into their next relationship. Whereas men will, um, men will,
I wouldn't say
like,
that's really self-preservation as much as like they have a harder time letting go.
right,
Which I can
because
agree with that sentiment.
all right, for a woman, for a man, a woman's a trophy or a prize. Like, you want to get the best woman because that's the prize to get. Competition, I beat man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's true on some level. Oh, no, I am unmuted. That's true on some level, but also, like, we talked earlier about people having to settle. So to some degree, like, there are guys who like settle for less than the best woman.
I'm not saying there aren't beta males in there, but the point is that even the beta males are still alphaing it up, trying to be the best of the betas. It's that competition that we put in. Women see it as, okay, every time they leapfrog from relationship to relationship, it's for a better. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but it's always for what they think is a better guy to be with. You know what I'm saying? The guy has more money. The guy has more this. The guy has more clout. But it always
Yeah.
is something that is a betterment of their things. You know what I'm saying? Now, even back in the day when you were the top guy, you wanted to marry the cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to marry the girl that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just
You know,
the way it
I
was.
don't know
Go
if
ahead.
it's because I'm gay. I don't know if it's because I'm gay or not, or cared for that type of stuff.
Hold on. This is something I could ask you because it's something you know about.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
are a good like referendum for this actually.
Well, do you go for, like, if you were going out for a guy to pick up, assuming that you could have any guy you wanted, would you pick somebody of high stature? Would you pick under the criteria of women or the criteria of men for things? Hold on, I got to pee real quick. Hang
Okay.
tight. Y'all can chat amongst yourselves.
Well, I guess you'll just not answer that until he comes back and re-ask the question. I don't know what he meant by like criteria of men or the criteria of women. I wasn't exactly like understanding what he was asking you, to be honest. I don't know if that's just me.
I think he means like, am I attracted by more feminine qualities inside of like something a girl would look for, or something a man would look for in a girl? I guess.
I think you're right. I do think that's what he meant. Well, what's your answer to that?
I mean, should I wait or till now?
You might want to wait and potentially like reconnect your internet actually, because you're coming through like a Decepticon.
Yeah, approaching my house. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll let him know because he's about to hop back on. And you go and like get your setup situated.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So,
Ryan has to go because his internet's chopping up.
Oh!
So he's getting to his house.
Come on, we needed the gay perspective.
Well, he'll give that.
Cayden don't count.
I don't count. Okay, he'll be back in a minute.
What do you know about gay sex?
Nothing.
I know about gay relationships.
I guess what they've what I've learned.
Whatever they've told you.
Yeah. That's like my only reference really for any relationship.
I can give a perspective on the female-male dynamics. He can perspective on male-male dynamics. You can't give perspective on squat.
No, I
get.
can't.
Oh, no. There's one thing. Mm-hmm. You can give perspective on what it's like to be with neither.
That is true. That is true, and that's an interesting like outsider looking in perspective. So I feel like that does give some.
So that you
some
do
proponent.
have great instinct, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I have the Tibetan monk abstinence like.
Is he leaving or is he leaving and coming back?
He's gonna leave and come back. He got to his house. He was on his phone in the car.
Oh, okay.
Pissing off the FTOT or the Texas Department of Transportation probably. But he got to his house. His wife's connection dropped. Yeah. Is that actually what they have? I don't know.
M-Dot was what Mississippi's was. F-Dot's what Florida is.
Oh, T-Dot is Tennessee's Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay.
So what does Texas call theirs? Oh, they just call it the Texas Department of Transportation. TX-Dot is what that is. Okay.
Oh, TX-Dot.
So they can distinguish themselves from
Tennessee. So, and my question for him was... Oh, there he is. Okay.
Oh,
so...
Nice.
All right, my question for you is I'm gonna say it again because it kind of reiterates. It's been like a big pause between. All right. When you're looking for a guy, do you look for traditional guy things that guys would look for in girls, even though you're looking for a guy, or do you look for girl features? Things that like when you look at a guy, you're like, ooh, he makes a lot of money. Ooh, does he? You know what I'm saying? Because guys don't really care about money, and they truly don't. A billionaire will date a girl from working at McDonald's as long as she's hot. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. I've seen a lot of examples of that.
Sure.
Really? Neither, really.
You don't look for anything in a partner?
I'm sure you look for something.
I
would say that's true with some.
I kind of look for like similar interests. Like, do we have like similar interests? Because like if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I want to be able to like hang out and do stuff with them.
Do you have any like aesthetic preferences, like masculine or feminine qualities that you like typically would
just
prefer?
Just people who take care of themselves. That's really about it.
So you would date like you don't have a preference between like say a jock type guy or like a dainty, practically girl type
like a
guy,
twink or a bear.
Yeah,
I'm kind of into both.
Okay, is that true of your partner or not?
My partner currently is more of the bear body type. The one before him was more of a twink. So like,
he was a twink, or
you are also like bisexual more so than gay, from what I understand.
More
like saying too much. My bad. That's kind of your business.
I'm bisexual.
More like
buoy-sexual?
I'm trying to think how to say it.
B-U-Y.
So like,
bi. Okay, yes.
If a girl had the mind of a guy, I'm more into that. I'm more into a guys because I can connect with them more than I feel like I can with a girl. Therefore, I call myself gay because of that.
That's
Like
fair.
I wouldn't mind having sex with a woman, but like when it comes to like actual relationships and stuff like that, I'd rather like guys just have more of a similar mindset of than I do. Therefore, I'm more attracted to them, I guess.
Well, I mean that goes because guys are more complex. I mean, they're not more complex when it comes to dating, but they're more complex when it comes to what they want. Okay, like it's simple, but okay, like I want a girl that's attractive. She's got to be at least attractive. That's you know what I'm saying. That's on the list. I want to. Yes, boobies are good, but you didn't have them when we got together, so that was just yeah. But that was an added bonus. They weren't there when we got together. There was like A cups,
There you go,
maybe bitty
Ryan.
bees, but
What about a guy with tits?
he has tits. What's wrong with that?
Who
No,
does?
no, Brian, no, I'm
Brian?
just kidding. I don't know if he does.
No,
But I don't know.
Josh is accusing you of being hermaphroditic, Ryan.
No, hey, guys have bitch tits. We used to have a guy that we used to call him bitch tits because he literally had like female looking. He would wear no shirt, and his tits didn't look like a girl. Like you know, okay, guys have tits, and you know even if they're flabby or whatever, but his genuinely looked like a girl's. So we used to call him bitch tits.
may have
But he
had
was
like
That
may have
just
had
played the
like
mental image you've illustrated. Sorry.
he may have had something like Klinefelter syndrome.
no. I mean, genetically, I don't think he thinks there was anything wrong with him.
It was probably
Um,
just a heavier set dude who just for
if
whatever reason
anything,
the fat like went to the chest specifically.
sure, it probably was hormonal, which is, but Klinefelter's is genetic. That's different.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I don't think it was genetic. I think it was hormonal, but I don't think it was genetic. Um,
Did you
which
ever ask
I
him
don't
about
know for
his
sure.
tits?
No, I mean, I called him bitch tits. I
the
don't know.
way
Yeah,
he
I guess
phrased
it
that,
did come up. I guess it did come up.
the
Came up a time or two.
the way he can't phrase that, Cayden. You ever ask him about his tits?
Well, yeah, like how else do you phrase that? Josh, did
You
you ever
say, hey,
walk up
this
to him?
this is what I said. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, that motherfucker's got some bitch tits. Hey, why you got bitch tits? So
There
yes,
you go, yeah. Okay. And what was his answer?
his was fuck you, I think, and it was like you're a piece of shit or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. At first I thought maybe it was an invitation, but not with that second line.
No,
Okay.
his girlfriend.
But
Would have been
yeah,
mad about
really, I
that.
just look for
He-
partners that have more similar of an interest than that I do.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I want
try-
somebody I could literally just talk to for hours.
There you
Women
go.
fake,
Like,
fake that
regardless
stuff
of
all the time.
aesthetic
Oh
quality.
no, my ex is somebody you could talk to for hours. That bitch will not shut up.
Well, there you
I'm-
go.
I'm
and
not
you
kidding.
dated her, so that apparently is like a
And look at the one I
Pro
got now.
quality.
She's quiet and meek and all that shit because I didn't like it.
Is that right? I guess Jamie
Ja-
doesn't really like hop onto this conversation.
Jamie does not jump on conversations the way that Kim does. And
Yeah.
you know, because Kim's been here every fucking night
Yes.
almost.
Kim.
talked so much. One
Yeah.
of the babies fell asleep one time, so she left.
So she left.
She talks a lot.
She does.
Wait, who fell asleep?
One of the
Kim?
babies.
Oh, the baby fell asleep. Do what? Yes.
It was like the perfect white noise maker for the kid. That's a
I'm
cool
bitch
Jack
tits.
Skellington hoodie.
My Stranger Things hoodie isn't cool. That's bullshit.
No, it's cool, but I saw it before. I don't recall the Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods. That's a different game. Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie.
Well, it's cold as fuck right now. Well, not cold as
That's
fuck.
fair.
It's like 35
No.
degrees. It wasn't. Last night was cold as fuck, but
To a Floridian, it's cold as fuck. I feel bad, Ryan. You're in Texas. Like you must have snow and ice going on outside right now.
yeah, the other day it was like 22
Just like
degrees.
a small bit. It's been warming up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Do what?
Man, the one thing I was hoping would come out of these freeze warnings was a little bit of snow down here. And if you guys only got like the tiniest bit of snow, we're not. Florida's
Wait,
not.
wait,
feeling
oh,
it.
yeah,
we got so here's the deal. Here's what happened in Texas.
Hmm?
We got snow, quote unquote, but it was mostly like freezing rain that went on the ground and wet the ground, and then it went below freezing while the ground was good and wet and froze it all over. So it wasn't
Became
even really
ice.
snow. Yeah, it wasn't even really snow. It was fucking ice. Like I'm talking about, like you were practically stepping out onto a fucking skating rink.
We didn't because it was actually only below free. Like right now, tonight, it's not
Mhm.
going to be below freezing till like 7 a.m. So it may freeze over for a second, but it'll immediately thaw out by 8 o'clock. So Like tonight, it's like 35 degrees, which is way warmer than the 22 degrees it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Margins were like, Anyway, um, but we were hoping
Uh,
for snow too, but didn't happen.
these next few weeks are gonna fucking suck though.
Why? Because the hot.
Um, this weekend's Super Bowl weekend. Next weekend is
Was the
what is
Cowboys
next
in
week?
it or something?
No, but like people down here go fucking crazy for the Super Bowl, no matter who's in it.
Oh,
What was next week? Next week was something else. What was next week? Fuck.
I
Same.
like lost track of the conversation. Why were we talking about next week?
I don't know, but it's the Patriots versus
Valentine's
the
Day
Seahawks. So
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
Yeah, that's right.
is next week, and then the week after that, fucking Lent starts.
see, that's so fucked up.
What is
It's
one?
the Patriots, which I don't like, and they're gonna get another ring, which I don't like. You know.
Last week especially was freaking long.
Are you a Patriots fan?
No, I don't like
What-
football in general.
Seattle Seahawks Hawks fan?
I just don't. I don't find football entertaining.
Really? Isn't that like sacrilegious where you're from? I'm pretty sure they'll kick you out of the state for that.
Oh,
Texas.
thank God. I only watch Blitzball.
Wait, you're not. What were you in Austin or Dallas? Dallas, right?
DFW area,
I don't know what that means.
Dallas Fort Worth area,
Oh.
like basically Dallas, in between Dallas and Fort Worth and everything around it.
I got you. It's the metro area or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't. Go ahead.
I am going to heat up some food. I'll be right back.
The Chiefs won last year. See, now we're talking
Ooh.
football.
Joey must be excited. He likes the Chiefs. This is big team, ain't it?
The Chiefs? No, the Redskins.
Is that not just what they
Wait a
renamed
second.
their-
Is it the Chiefs versus the Patriots?
Yeah, Chiefs versus Patriots. I'm
What
voting
is
for
this? The War of
Chiefs.
fucking 1812?
Right?
Oh, no, sorry.
Thanksgiving Part 2.
No, it's the Seahawks versus the Patriots.
I'll be right back.
Wow, the Rams won the Super Bowl? I didn't even know that.
Which team is the Rams?
LA, Los Angeles Rams.
I don't know any of my football teams, man. I know Miami Dolphins and Florida Gators, and that's it. That and the Redskins, I guess.
Apparently, the Chiefs wins the Super Bowl a lot lately.
Which one is what's Lucky's football team?
Lucky's football team?
Yeah, Drunkle Steve.
Yeah, like he's the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
What's Tom Brady have? 6 rings or something?
Which it looks like they did their final on January 4th. Yeah, so there's no Dallas Cowboy games for a while. It looks like, unless I'm misunderstanding how this works. For last year. And then for the upcoming year, it looks like November is when they play, and then December till January of next year. The Cowboys versus the Giants.
See, this is no different than us talking about science shit. We're just doing it with football now.
Yeah, we're just like analyzing it and looking it up. And I never really understood, like, I don't mean to like speak down on people who do watch like sports like football, but I can never get myself to sit down and really watch a full game. It's just not.
That's because it's fucking boring.
It is like it's football was fun when I played it in school, but watching it is so there's so much of a distance between like you and the game. I don't really see what like captivates people with it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna feel bad for this guy.
I feel like I enjoy watching tennis a little more than football. And that's kind of weird to say, but I guess because it's like direct, nonstop, back to back like sports action. And then football is like there's a million things to watch, and you can see some people just kind of like I don't know what it is. NASCAR. That's another one I don't really fully like get the appeal of.
Let's see. Interesting. A backup quarterback.
For which team?
Patriots.
Is that normal to have a backup quarterback?
It's normal to have a backup quarterback. It's not normal for your guy to be injured for the Super Bowl.
Oh, so their backup quarterback is going to be playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. So they might lose it, and then they'll be
Joshua
humiliated
Dobbs,
if they
dude.
do.
A larger role during practice while May dealt with minor injuries. Tommy DeVito. Anytime I see the last name DeVito, the only thing that comes to mind is Danny. Good old Danny DeVito.
Drake May is the guy.
Drake May, he got himself hurt, huh?
Damn, that motherfucker was born in 2002.
That dude has the widest neck I have ever seen.
He's like 6'4" or something.
He's got, and I mean this like it's not a negative thing, but the only thing.
But you're gonna say it anyway, right?
Yes. He's a little thumb shaped, like just the size of his neck and the way his face comes out. It's a little thumb shaped. Oh, and I thought you'd be like a massive dude, but no. Like looking at pictures. Oh, those are from high school. Well, this is 2024. He's not that big. His neck is just strangely massive. Or maybe it's like an off-season picture.
Okay, we'll see if Joshua Dobbs can take him all the way to the Super Bowl.
Do you have like a team, Josh?
I grew up as the Miami Dolphins, but
I see that was the only team I ever rooted for if I happened to pass by like football playing, and it's literally just because I was like, it's Florida.
Well, that's why at the time that's what it did, because Jacksonville hadn't been invented yet.
Jacksonville has their own team now. Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not gonna lie, that's a
team
little
now.
more
They've been around like 20 years, but I think they came out in like not even probably longer than that. They've been around since like 95 or 96 or something.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back, Ryan. I'm glad you're back. So you guys carry the conversation so I can get some food started and pee real quick. It'll be quick.
You're good. Now, Lid's the busiest fucking time for a fishmonger.
Yeah. We got our ass handed to us this year. I don't know why I say we. I didn't fucking do it.
I saw you do it.
You did not.
I did.
There was no cameras in that room. How could you know? But yeah, like that's got to be a guy that's following Tom Brady now as in Super Bowl. If he fucks up, that's gonna make him look bad, and he's gonna be pissed. Shh.
Oh, someone's upset.
Yeah, he's pissed.
What'd you do, Jock?
I didn't do a damn thing. He just woke up. Apparently, that was enough.
You know what? Sometimes I get like that too.
Well, you be a dick just because you woke up? That's a fucking dickish thing to do. Like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck did I do?
You know those like old memes of like the people where it's like, don't talk to me before I have my coffee type shit.
Oh, I won't talk to you. That's fine. But just don't be a dick, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like people, like I'm fine with not talking to them. But it's one of those just don't be a dick type situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as I'm concerned, don't be a dick. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm more talking about the waking up and screaming part.
Waking up and screaming.
Yeah.
Have to beat this one, drown him something. No, I'm just kidding.
All right,
He's going to drown himself in his tears. I don't even know how you could have that many tears when you woke up. Like, you're tired, you haven't drank anything yet, you know what I'm saying? And you just wake up and cry, you know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the fun. And he's just like his mom, because she's the same way. In a couple minutes, he'll be fine. He'll be playing with whatever.
I'm curious, what was your religious upbringing, if I can ask?
My dad was Catholic. My mom was Baptist.
Oh,
We were
okay.
nothing. That's why I say we were nothing.
Oh, this is
Oh my God! Stop crying. See, it's gonna be warm tomorrow. I like that. It'll be like 60, 63, 64. That's plenty warm enough. And then like tomorrow it'll be in the fucking 70s, and by the end of the week it'll be like by Wednesday of next week it'll be fucking 79 degrees. So it'll be back to normal completely. Okay, this is the last cold night. Go ahead.
I work next to a few people from Myanmar. I've told you about them. Apparently, none of them knew what Lent was.
Lent, like the religious Jewish holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it's not just
It's not,
Jewish.
no, it's not Jewish. It's Christian.
No, they celebrate Lent too.
Oh, they do? I didn't know that. No, because isn't Lent about...
It's about sacrificing something. You have to give up
Yeah, but
something for Lent.
specifically it was about the 40 days Jesus was in jail, no?
What? Oh, they celebrate something at the same time, but it's not actually Lent. So I thought they did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sure you're not thinking of like Yom Kippur or something?
No, it's called Eel,
Mm.
but it's the same. It's during the same time, so I just assumed it was their version of Lent, but I guess it's not.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I noticed that these holidays they'll celebrate something at the same fucking time as other holidays, but it won't be that holiday. So, and like I said,
I chop it up to like solstices and what's the other word I'm looking for?
Let me see something. Do they give up something? Is it really just that?
Solstices. What's the other thing I'm thinking of?
I'm not sure.
Like there's winter solstice, summer solstice. What's the equinox? That's the thing I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, and we even aligned shit like Christmas and stuff with them. I'm saying like, even though he was like likely killed in fucking in July. I mean, not likely killed, likely born in July.
That's because he'd like to. I heard that's because like a lot of country like cultures and stuff like that, regardless of like
Well, hell, even
who
Easter.
you are, like to put their stuff like near or on like solstices and equinoxes because they were like astrologically significant events.
Okay, here's the thing. All right. Duration, Lent, 40 days. Duration of Yule, 29 days. Preparation for Easter. Preparation for high holy days. Key themes: repentance, sacrifice. Key themes: repentant relationship with God. What is a shofar blowing? I don't even know what that means. Is it like when you blow some dude or something?
Are we gonna get Reese's in here?
Is he? I don't know. He better. Okay, it's a musical instrument. They blow a horn. So yeah, they blow something. That sounds like a sacrifice to me.
Josh, I just can't believe you killed all those people.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no regret to it. Yeah, see, it happens. It happens. Like it was an accident.
Yeah.
But we were there, Josh. We saw you put the ignition to the gas pump.
I didn't say how it happens. I just said it happens, okay?
I know. I'm telling you how it happened. I was there.
You can't remember shit anyway. Nobody believes your memory. Your memory's got the most
That's
faulty fucking
true.
memory I've ever seen in my life. No, I take that back. There's one worse than you, Alistair.
He's got a
That
bad memory.
motherfucker worse than you can't remember shit that happened like a week ago.
Oh, well, I'd say that's on
You're
par.
on drugs
last
though. That
week,
doesn't count, baby.
What happened last week?
Oh, I meant. I love you. I love you.
What?
Come here, come here.
Damn, did I even? Oh, last week
That's for damn sure.
Give him the code and he'll walk.
I guess that wasn't a week ago. That was yesterday.
Last week was probably one of the
Bad.
longest fucking weeks I've had since like childhood.
Really?
I got a question. Sorry. Hey, I get to tap the mind of a gay person. This is interesting to me. I have a
Go
question.
for it.
Okay, like sometimes Jamie will want to cuddle up real tight to me and snuggle me. Like even if I'm like on the air, like you'll see her come behind me and hug me and stuff. Did your boyfriend do that to you? Or like, nah, man's taking care of business. I gotta.
Remember, we're long distance.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
So they like say it to each other.
Whatever.
As I imagine how that plays out instead.
No, it's like I gotta get off the phone. I gotta get on this stream. Fine, you gotta go. That's what it is.
I do that to him sometimes, admittedly.
See,
You do that, but Nick
pack
doesn't
your bags,
really-
going on a guilt trip.
Or maybe he's not like that in like the group chat, but I guess I don't know that he's not like that like elsewise.
You talking about his boyfriend?
Yeah.
How the fuck would you know in a group chat if he's snuggly?
It's just he doesn't like say right, help me
No.
out here because I don't exactly know how to communicate this.
What
Like,
the fuck
can
is he gonna do?
Okay, can you agree with me that like Nick has a less cuddly personality than you when you're in the group chat? Because like you make him like uncomfortable sometimes. You like embarrass him a little.
Yeah, but he may do that for fun.
Yeah, but Nick doesn't do that back. Is my point.
Depends on who's around us. I think
Okay.
he tends to tone it down with you, not because like he doesn't like you or anything, but just like he knows you're ace and he knows you'd probably be uncomfortable with that.
I wouldn't be. It doesn't make me uncomfortable when you do it. I jump in on the joke sometimes.
So
True.
we're agreeing that he should sleep and leave us alone.
Who?
Reese Cups.
Wait. Where do you?
He said I was asleep. If you think about it, that's me contributing in my own way. I was like, no, Rick said we're still in. But
Let's see if that gets him on.
I don't even know anything about him. I know a little bit about him, but like, does he have a girlfriend?
He's got 3 boyfriends actually.
Okay, he's got 3 boyfriends. They kind of seem. Whoa.
Wait, Reese's does?
Yeah, Cameron's got like 3 boyfriends at all times, man. Sometimes he breaks up with one, but he just goes and like gets a new one like right away.
That's Cameron. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
it's Cameron.
What's wrong with him?
Is he your older or younger brother? I get them mixed up.
He has no correlation to me genetically whatsoever that I'm aware of.
He's mistaken for Connor.
Wait, what's
Yeah.
your older and younger brother's names again?
Damien's the older brother, and then Connor's the younger brother.
For some reason, I
Connor's-
thought it was like Cameron, Cayden, Connor. It was like the 3 C's.
Oh,
No,
I
and
mean-
Connor's a K.
yeah, but it's still got the cuss sound. Which, if you start counting our cousins and stuff, you'd be more on point with like the amount of cuss sounds there are. Like, I don't blame my grandma for getting us confused so often because genuinely, like, Cayden and Caleb, like, did we really both need to have those phonetics? I feel like my dad should have thought that through a little bit more.
I didn't get a choice in that.
Well, no, you didn't.
He had you first. What the fuck was he gonna think?
Oh,
Oh,
that
I didn't
before
rename my
Caleb?
kid. Yeah, you're older than
Oh,
Caleb.
well, then you should have reconsidered naming your kid.
How the fuck
Caleb.
was I? I was the one that named the motherfucker.
Wait, who named him then?
His mom did.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Bitch, you
That's
her.
fair. I will. I'll try. But for now, like,
We weren't
you
even
can't-
together at the time.
You
I
aren't
think-
completely
I
involved
think
either, because there's Kyrie, there's
In order
Kiki,
to
there's.
prevent confusion, I think we should
Well, it's
start
just those
calling.
two, I guess.
In order to prevent confusion, I think we should start calling him Khalib.
Khalib.
Ooh, you're right. That'd make it a lot clearer. Or Caleb. No, that would be closer. Why don't we just short him to Cal? So it's only
Cal?
one syllable. Yeah, Cal.
Cal.
And then, or short name me to K. Actually, I guess would make a little more sense than Cal, but still.
Why would you shorten you to a K?
CAY, not the letter K.
Oh.
I put up like the L symbol for some reason for letter K. I don't. There you
Something
go.
about
That letter
finger,
right there.
finger in
Oh
the
my
vagina.
god,
Yeah.
you're throwing up gang signs now.
Oh yeah,
I
I got
know.
my gang signs, fellas.
That's the K.
Was it a gun? I don't. Or are you doing it with your arm?
Oh,
This is a gang sign.
Yeah,
Like shit, there's a gang member there.
that's the sign that like pulls the other gang signs. I imagine.
oh, you know that fucking Iraqi drew Naruto for like Naruto's 10th anniversary.
Yes, they all did that. There's the One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, Goku. Like a lot of them drew each other's like characters.
This is one
Alright.
that was done recently. There was like this mangaka who
Oh, Iraqi, not
Huh?
Akira. Oh, no, yeah, I forgot about that actually. He drew him like neon green for some reason.
Who
But,
drew who neon green?
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't just put this in like the.
here.
Like, you
Riverside.
were making sure Josh couldn't. All right, well, here's two, so you don't get confused, Josh.
Oh,
I'll see if you can figure out who that is.
okay, it looks like a gay. It must be Naruto.
It's Naruto.
Yeah.
What was they say? There was a recent controversy because Iraqi. There was this guy who wrote a manga that I don't remember the name of, and I didn't recognize it at the time.
Hmm?
That was like apparently like he was charged for like possession of child porn, and like they gave him a very light sentence, and he was back like in the office of like a shonen, and like they were trying to get like a lot of editors to do something like that for him for his manga's like 20th anniversary or something like that. And
Mhm.
Iraqi basically, since he was forced to, just did the bare minimum, like unfinished drawing and everything.
Wait, do you have like that example of the unfinished drawing?
Let me see.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you didn't recognize like the name of it, that probably wouldn't. Wait,
I
Iraqi
have
drew it or Akira did? Iraqi is from like Dragon Ball. No, that's Akira Toriyama. Iraqi's Bobo's
Yeah, those are the video I
JoJo's
got it
Bizarre
from.
Adventure. Jesus.
JoJo's author just disrespected Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, that was
On the
Rurouni?
anniversary of Rurouni Kenshin, showed
Oh, wait. Where's your boyfriend at again?
What?
Where's your boyfriend at again?
Portugal.
Portugal. I can remember.
So you had like distant.
Do what?
So yeah, there's like a distance. I don't know what you were like asking to.
Oh no! I was assuming he's Portuguese, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, does he speak Portugal? Like Portuguese?
Yeah.
Or is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was it's like we've been in call with him, and like his mother will come in. They'll start speaking Portuguese to each other.
Does he speak? Do you speak Portuguese too?
I'm learning very slowly.
But no,
Yeah.
Nick is like very fluent in English, and apparently in Portugal, like they get taught English in their schools. It's like
Yeah.
they're just always like bilingual. Apparently,
Japan's like that. By fourth grade, by first grade, everybody has to learn English. They learn Chinese in the early years, kindergarten and stuff like that. But by first grade, you're learning both languages. So usually,
That's
most
wild.
people in Japan can speak English. Very few can't.
which explains why they use so many of our like exclamations, because that's like a big thing in their media is like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What the hell's the one? Nice.
I don't know.
And then there's a holy shit. That's the one. I think Joseph says that.
It's possible.
I'm pretty sure.
Does he
Ryan,
like anime?
Nick or Ryan?
Nick,
What's
not Ryan. I know Ryan likes anime. The motherfucker's obsessed with it.
He did just send Naruto. A picture of Naruto from JoJo's.
And he likes fucking Digimon. Come on.
That too. I forgot. Yeah, you guys had that conversation.
We've had a lot of conversation while your ass was sleeping.
My
Nick
bad.
doesn't watch a lot of media. He does like Dragon Ball, but like that's kind of the only anime he likes.
Do y'all watch it in Portuguese or do you watch it in English?
Oh, Ryan, send me the curveball. I am so happy to get to talk about this, Josh. Let me send you a link to the Portuguese dub real quick.
Was it all English?
No, it's so much wackier. It's so wacky. It's not in English. It's in Portuguese, but like
They turned fucking Ginyu into an opera singer.
they did. It's so weird. Oh, why is it on Reddit? I thought it was YouTube. The Vegeta one. I gotta get the Vegeta clip. That kills me every time without fail.
I thought you were imitating the clip for a sec, Josh.
Yeah, I thought that too. Portuguese Vegeta versus Frieza. That's the one.
All right, send that.
This one is so wild. It's actually the best part of the dub. Vegeta sounds like he's genuinely dying.
So you guys. He sounds like he's being raped.
It sounds horrible. Vegeta, I don't know what they did to the voice actor to get that audio. They had to have like actually tortured him or something. It's too unbelievable. And then the rest of it, they just sound like opera like singers, or they'll have like a demon filter like overlaid, and then they'll just talk kind of lazy.
Well, I mean, they are Latin. I mean, you know, well, they're not Latin, but they, you know what I'm saying? Like, they come from that language. I'm sure, like, you know, when you think of like Ricky Ricardo and he like sings everything in cabaret, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably what it is.
Really, the only difference between Portuguese and Spanish is how much Arabic's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I always thought there was a lot, and like I got clowned on at one point for suggesting there was some overlap with like Spanish and Portuguese. I believe
There is a lot of overlap. There's a shit ton of near-cognitives.
There's not just me. I wasn't wrong for thinking there was overlap.
No, there's.
Nick,
it's like
Nick likes to pretend there isn't, but there is. Like him and Tito could probably hold like half a conversation in their native languages.
Why haven't we asked them to do that?
Don't know.
Just to see how far it goes.
But like even in Italian and Spanish
That's true.
There's a shit ton of overlap because it's all Latin languages. You know what I'm saying? It's all you know what I'm saying? It all comes from Latin, so
we have a lot of overlap with those religions.
Languages? Not really.
Yeah.
No. What
we
have
borrowed words, is I guess what I'm referring to, and that's fair. Like we just siphon some words from their languages.
We have like policio, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like a letter off or something in their languages. When we have a lot of our languages, we have a lot of Germanic in ours. You know what I'm saying? Fish is fish.
House is hoss, or hoss is house.
Right. It'd be like fish is fish. All right. But what we do have is a lot of hybrid languages where we just import words. We do. Like for some reason, from all kinds of countries, we'll just be like, you know, this is a taco, therefore it's a taco. We don't translate it out. We just say this is a taco. That's a taco in itself is a Spanish word.
Some of our exclamations too. Like I remember there was like a short period where I was saying "sacre bleu" because it was like the first time I found out what it meant, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna adopt that for a while.
Sacrifice blue. I'm kidding.
Sacrifice blue from Foster's home.
Oh my
Poor
goodness!
guy.
What are you up to, Cayden?
Well, hold on. Let's be fair. No real harm was caused because that friend was purely imaginary. So
he was also a dick, so that's also a point to you.
He was what?
He was also a dick, so that's also a point to you.
He was an asshole, yeah. So there's no real harm being caused because he's imaginary. Honestly, we should sacrifice Mac for coming up with such an asshole of a friend. Like that's the real problem. Because if he starts creating more friends like that, like they're gonna take over Foster's, man.
Maybe you are.
Maybe they are. Maybe they already did.
What if? But yeah,
we haven't seen them for a couple of years. What's going on there?
But yeah, there's a lot of languages. Spanish is a big one. It's spread over the world. There's usually near cognitives, even from like Portuguese to what's Argentinian, things Spanish like do what?
Argentina also speaks Spanish also.
No, actually, speak a type of Portuguese. I think they're the ones that speak type of Portuguese. I don't know. Let me double check
No,
that.
they speak. I literally know somebody from Argentina. It's literally, I
What's
think
it?
Brazil's the only country in South
Oh,
America.
maybe I missed. Maybe it was.
There is strangely a country there that speaks primarily French, but like the vast majority of South America speaks Spanish. It's only like if there's like another dominant language in South America, it's usually limited to just one country speaks it. Like Brazil's dominant language is Portuguese. French
Okay.
Guiana is French. There's one that's English that I forgot the name of, and I think
Okay.
that's kind of the extent of
I
it.
might have got that backwards. Hold on 1 second. What what's the population of Portuguese? Of Portugal. I mean, not
Good
Portugal.
question.
I meant of Argentina.
46 million.
Okay, so we probably say, all right. Then they're only like 10% of the population or less, so they really wouldn't. See, I don't know if they did define themselves that way though. I guess that's something I gotta look up. Hold on.
Define themselves as Portuguese speaking?
Yes. Well, like in Haiti, they speak Haitian, but really it's a French.
Right. Here you go. By the way, Paraguay and Guyana. Wait, am I reading that? No, I'm reading that wrong. Guyana speaks English. Suriname speaks Dutch. French Guinea, I'm probably butchering that, speaks French. Brazil speaks Portuguese. Pretty much every other country speaks Spanish.
No, French is the largest language in the world. More people speak it than any other language in the world.
Really? I thought that was.
Nope. Found out about Jeopardy. Jeopardy told me that. Yeah, there's 200 million.
I'm going to fact check that
That's fine.
because I'm pretty sure it's like Spanish.
I thought it'd be like Chinese or something.
Okay, you are half right. Chinese is Chinese. Apparently, okay, English is the first most spoken language. Chinese is the second. Hindi.
Yeah, but it's not the first most spoken language. It's the second language. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. My bad. I misunderstood.
All right. Listed. All right.
For that reason, I don't.
All right. These are the countries that speak some sort of French. Congo, Democratic Republic, pretty much everywhere in Africa. Benin, Congo, Republic of the Congo, Gabon, Guinea, Ivory Coast, Monaco, Senegal, Togo, and I guess because those countries speak it, and there's a fucking shit ton of population there.
I would have thought it was English, just for the simple reason I feel like English is used mostly in a lot of business languages too.
In business countries, it's true, but in all the other countries, it's not, and those aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I thought Arabic at some point would overtake it, but yeah, like officially recognized in Louisiana, Maine, Lebanon, okay, they have 26 countries that they speak French in. Haiti, Belgium, Rwanda, pretty much, like I said, everything in Chad. They all fucking speak French in those.
Oh yeah, Haiti had some big like conflict with France, like trying to move into their country.
Well, I mean, France owned them for a long time.
I don't know enough about like the French African like that.
French took over a good portion of the fucking world. I mean, the known world.
Did they?
Yeah. They're in Algeria, Cambodia, Laos, Lebanon, Morocco, Niger, Tunisia, Vietnam. And now that doesn't mean everybody speaks in that language, but these are just the countries that they do speak it in. And some of
That's
them
a
are the
surprising
official
amount.
language. It's a lot. Like I was impressed by how many countries spoke it. I would have guessed Spanish or Chinese or fucking Arabic. Like those are the three that I would have guessed had the top numbers, but they don't. Because very few people outside of China speak Chinese. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't people in like, the United States that may speak Chinese, but there's not a
Yeah,
lot of them.
there's always outliers, but it's not. It's
Right.
definitely not commonplace here.
But these are countries where even in Canada, like in Quebec, you
Mhm.
have to speak French. You can't speak
That's right.
English. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, there's definitely a shit ton of them. Now I don't. Let me see. Mandarin seems to be pretty high. Has the most native speakers.
I'm getting
Um,
English as like the most spoken second language.
No, that's what I was saying. That it was the most spoken second language. English was. Sorry, I think you misunderstood that earlier when I said that they were speaking this. Like, it's not the most spoken first language. Like most Japanese speak Japanese. They also equally speak English, which makes it a very popular second language. Excuse me. But like, outside their certain sects, they don't. But for some reason, Spanish and French just flooded the world. Meaning, you could go to Arabic countries and speak French, or you can go to uh, Vietnam, any of those countries, and speak French and get away with that. Whereas you go there and speak English, you're not, not a lot of people speak English in those countries. Not the poorer ones. Now Italian, like Somalia and places like that, they have a high percentage of Italian speakers in Somalia.
Really? Well,
They used to
I'm
control
not
part
too
of.
surprised. I feel like there's a lot of African countries that have weird second languages like that due to colonialism.
Well, even like first languages like Swahili is just a version of French. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
true.
Is
Well,
that
like,
right? Swahili is just French.
Yeah, it's a version of French.
I remember there
That's
being
crazy.
I remember, if I recall correctly, during the golden age of piracy, Portuguese was like the second most spoken language.
The golden age of piracy.
Yeah,
Portuguese?
yeah.
Huh. Now, Spanish, I would agree. Portuguese, I'm surprised.
Portugal used to have like a big fucking grasp on stuff back then.
I'll look up Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? See.
I remember specifically the Lion King had like a lot of Swahili like reference. And
Yes, it's all in Swahili.
the Lion King is.
Yeah, I translated it one time for him.
Oh, do you mean like the original book?
No, the Lion
Yeah,
King.
it's like back then.
Specifically the song.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Here,
The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It's in.
is that
It's
in
in.
Swahili?
Yeah, it's in Swahili.
so the golden age of piracy lasted roughly from the 1650s to 1730s. At that time, everyone wanted to grow their borders and conquest new lands. Countries started expanding their colonization and started migrating from multiple nations. At that time, piracy started spreading fast crimes on the seas and trees. All the parties started invading each other, yada, yada, yada.
They got a lot, but I wouldn't say that it was.
Hold on. At the time, the world was originally divided between Spain and Portugal. In fact, from the coast of South America, across the Caribbean Sea, and all the way to northern Florida, was known as the Spanish Fan. The other countries started getting jealous and got angry that Portugal and Spain were getting all the treasure and gold that was found in the Americas. So they made a plan to attack them and
Sure, if you want to give me one.
who were filled with treasure and gold. So it's
No,
basically
they ain't
because
giving me.
it's basically because around that time, a lot of the piracy was centered around the Caribbean, essentially, which was divided mainly between Spain and Portugal.
Wow, the Portuguese Empire. It was all the way till 1999. That's a surprise. But yeah, they got some major countries there. Brazil's a big one. Um, Mozambique, Cabo Verde, Angola, Goa, East Timor, um, and then some islands and shit. But like, yeah, because but yeah, they definitely had a wide fucking reach for as teeny tiny as a country as that is. But I guess England too. England had a wide reach for as teeny tiny of a country as that is.
Yeah, no,
Like France is at
Portugal.
least a big country or a moderate sized country. Same with Germany, but
Portugal used to be like a very big superpower for as small as they are. Like again, weren't you the one I was talking about that like they introduced guns to Japan?
yeah. Um, uh, let's see. In the 13th century, Portuguese firearms. Oh no, hold on. Apparently, the Mongol invasion were the first ones to introduce guns to them. I don't know if it was like you want to see my gun? You know what I'm saying? But
Well, I guess I should have said sold guns to Japan. There you
yeah,
go.
I think Portuguese Firearms was the first company to ever sell guns in there in 1543. But in the 13th century, it was like they introduced them to firearms. You've been introduced, bitch.
And then they died in a tornado.
But oh wait, didn't fucking China invent gunpowder though? Seems like
Right,
China would have been the.
Gunpowder was invented way before actual guns were, though. Keep in mind, guns
Not
were
much. Hold on. Gunpowder.
You okay there, Cayden?
I'm good. I was just rabbit holing on something like completely unrelated.
Of course you are. We were talking about gunpowder over here, and you.
Yeah. I wasn't tracking it. It got introduced by like China got introduced to gunpowder by the Mongols when they invaded.
The 9th century is when it was first discovered in China, and so that would have been
spread out
a couple hundred years before. That was saltpeter, charcoal, and sulfur. So, within a couple hundred years, the Tang Dynasty was the first ones, according to this.
they discovered. Hold on.
What?
I'm seeing it was invented in 9th century China, the Tang Dynasty, by Taoist alchemists searching for an elixir of life. Boy, did they go in the wrong direction with that. That was the opposite of the elixir
You
of
know,
life.
guns save people's asses. They're like, oh shit, if I don't have a gun,
yeah,
save my ass.
But it does that by killing somebody, and that's the opposite of the elixir of life. It's life for the self, I guess, but it's clearly not what they meant by
if
elixir
I drink
of
a
life.
potion that lets me live forever, but you die, I still got an elixir for life.
That's true, but when they were coming up with the elixir of life, I don't imagine they assumed it was. Well, it's alchemy. In alchemy, everything is an exchange. So maybe that was like they were like, yeah, the elixir of life has to be done through like killing somebody.
But yeah, Japan, the earliest known, was in the 11th century. So they used primitive tubes.
They refer to it as
called the iron cannons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They were just like hand cannons that fired at people.
Yeah, if I'm reading this correctly.
So about 250 years, it says. Okay.
If I'm reading this correctly, the first rifles started appearing in the Middle East, though.
Yeah, so rifles, but the actual guns, like the actual cannons or whatever, tube shoots ball at somebody. That was invented by the Chinese.
Which, like, now that I'm thinking about, would also make sense that the Portuguese would be the first ones to give it to them, since like they were like invaded by Muslims for a long fucking time.
Maybe I think we should bring back fire lances.
That's funny because you know who sold the guns to the Muslims? The Portuguese. They're just getting it on both sides. They're like, oh, you want to beat those guys? Shoot them with this. Oh, you want to stop those guys? Shoot them with this. Oh, because that's what it said. It said that that's who did it. But yeah, they were big. The Portuguese were big proponents of that, and they sold it to uh Europe, and then Europe started selling all over the place. Portugal, a whole bunch of. But yeah, it was only invented like a couple 100 years before, like 250 years before, like the first time the chemist invented it. So then by the 1500s, they dominated the world with it. Because they're like, hey, here's some really good guns, and not just hand cannons. And then they started manufacturing their own by the 1800s.
Oh.
But yeah, Portugal definitely had its impact on the world. That's for fucking sure. I don't know if they were the biggest. I thought Spanish was the biggest, but they damn sure rivaled them.
Yeah, no, that's more my point. They rival the Spanish back in their heyday.
Yeah. Both of them are probably claiming it. Both of them might be wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
honestly, Portugal probably would have kept being. Let me make sure I get the dates on this right before I say this. I mean, Portugal probably would have kept being a superpower had it not been for the Lisbon earthquake.
One earthquake like stopped them from being a superpower.
It basically destroyed their entire capital.
Whoa.
It was a magnitude of 7.7, which is like very
That's
fucking
really high.
Yeah.
What's like the maximum an earthquake can even get to?
10. I think either 10 or 9.
That's the Richter
Okay.
scale, right?
Yeah.
all right, I'm mad about something. All right, Portugal actually ended its slave trade in 1869. So they
Oh,
were
that's a little bit
even
after us.
Yeah, that was after us. So, which to be fair, Mexico, even though they freed their slaves 10 years earlier, they made them sign 99-year contracts, which pretty much was the duration of their life.
Did like all like nations that had slavery, did they all like start peeling back on that like around that same time frame?
Roughly all European nations, because I think some went well into the 20th century.
I was gonna say, like I've heard there are still some where that's still the case.
But like the Lisbon earthquake's really freaking interesting because so it killed like 30,000 to 40,000 people. It basically led to the modern science of seismology and earthquake engineering.
Was that specific one?
Yeah, because it was so big and so impactful.
That they were like, yeah, we've got to figure out what to do the next time some shit like that happens again.
See, the thing about the Americas is like all the Americas from North and South America was they all were in slave trade long before slavery was a thing, like before European slave trade existed. This goes like back to the Aztecs and stuff like that. But even down in Brazil, they said that slavery long predated the Portuguese coming there.
Yeah, well, I think like a few weeks ago we were talking about just like how people tend to have this view of like Native Americans as these like nature-loving, peace-loving people when they really weren't. They were just people like us.
Yep, they needed slaves just like we did. like that was what they were
What
thinking.
did they even use their slaves for?
Like
somebody's got to dig the ditches.
It's like a myth in like a lot of like shows and TVs and movies and shit like that, where like the Indian kills an animal and uses every part of it. When they used to like run buffaloes off of cliffs, watch them hit the ground, and just take off like whatever meat they wanted. And left
yeah, you're talking about the humble natives, and there wasn't many humble natives. Yeah, I know that they're like, we take care of the land, we take care of the people, and a lot of them aren't. They were just like, watch this, Buffalo Falls, that's funny. They were.
Yeah, and people say that and try to excuse it for like colonialism and shit like that. Where it's like, no, that's not how that fucking works. But
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So like, but I don't know why they're so upset with Americans. Americans took in far less slaves, far less everything. So like, why America is the one? And they're like, well, you still fought for slavery after other. I'm like, really? Because most South Americans kept them, 10 years or more longer. and then some of them still kept slavery. Like just because they stopped selling slaves did not mean they got rid of their slaves in
I
places
guess to
like
be fair,
Brazil.
like people here aren't going to talk about like other countries' slavery as much as they're going to talk about our own nation's like history of slavery. Just because
Yeah, but and that'd be fine if it was Americans talking about it. We're talking about Canadians talking about it,
oh,
or fucking UK talking about it.
how often do they
But
talk about our? Well, I do know the UK talks about our politics a lot. Actually, Canada
yeah,
does too. That is
Canada
true.
too. So like,
Yeah, you don't hear them about complaining about their neighbors doing the same exact shit.
they don't talk about their natives. The Haida people have been enslaving people since 1600 BC. Oh, sorry,
Jeez, that's
16.
way back.
So whoa, 16,000 BC.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's longer than that.
Yeah, sorry, 16. That's what we've known. That's the tribe that was around since then, and they've been doing slavery since then. You know,
Like the
it was
Bible has like explicit instructions on like slavery. That's how far back it goes.
I feel like
sure.
maybe we should switch subjects just before ending the stream because I feel like it's a little.
What
I don't
taking on
know.
slavery?
Well, three white guys discussing slavery. I feel like it's like a bad. note to
Nobody
leave
knows what
off on.
color Ryan is, and he's gay, so we got the edge in there. You know what I'm saying?
You've shown yourself on stream, Ryan. They already know. Like,
But that's not necessarily the same person.
oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Would
Maybe
you be
somebody
happy
new
if we
just found
had
it.
one of the Haida natives on here to talk about
Oh,
slavery?
that would be kind of cool. Yeah. Are
Like-
Haida natives still around?
Yes,
I mean,
Okay,
and also,
there we go. Yeah, let's get one.
they're first Canadians now, and some northern Californians.
plus we're pretty much all condemning slavery.
Yeah, nobody's here saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
this was a good idea." We're
Well,
saying
we
this
did-
is where it happened.
We did
at.
say our history wasn't so bad in relation to or
It
like with the
isn't.
juxtaposition. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That statement's true. The other statement, I mean, that's what he said.
I
was
just
like,
feel like for most people that leaves like a taste in their mouth. So that's all.
I imagine
we
the
can
guys-
we can leave it on this note. Like that's
Okay.
fine.
we,
You know what? I think Cayden, yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, I just feel like that it'll gel well with other people. I'm with you, though.
No, you're caving to the whole purpose of this podcast was to discuss things openly and honestly.
You're right. All right.
You know what I'm
to
saying?
be
If
honest,
you're gonna
guys,
cave
I
to 'em,
think
you
we
might as
should
well
bring
just-
back slavery. Just saying.
Nobody said that. God
I did.
damn.
Okay,
Okay,
I
well-
rescind that. I rescind that. I'm not gonna leave that hanging.
You know, too late. You've done it.
Okay, it's out.
That's
yeah.
it.
There we go. So if we're gonna bring it back, how do you, Ryan?
Well, we'll start with. the
I
white
need a
people. How's that
volunteer.
sound?
Yeah. There we go, Josh. I'll be the
Two
first.
words. 2 words. Child
Do
labor.
what?
Yeah, that is still a thing that goes on. That is still like
I
a
don't know. Why
modern
people are
form
like,
of
they're like,
slavery.
I don't think
Like-
Josh even heard that.
what'd you say?
I don't think he did.
I said 2 words. Child labor.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And it won't be racial. It'll be any child. Not
Yeah,
just-
there we go. So it's fair slavery at least.
Right. Yeah. We don't want to like just
the
enslave them
Vikings.
because they're black or Mexican or whatever.
Mhm.
We're all we are a.
We're enslaving you
solid-
because you're young,
Yeah.
which that stuff creates
No, I do
like some form of arbitrary hierarchy.
And a
That's
lot of
just
people try,
ageist instead.
a lot of people try to argue that like slavery wasn't based on race back then, when like specifically they were talking about like in the Bible races of the people they were enslaving, and how like native like is I think it was Hebrew Israeli people should have lighter sentences of slavery than like people they catch outside.
There
I
was
see what
always
you're
a
saying.
there was always a tribalist element to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody within the tribe and out the tribe, but
And even with America being like so much later when that happened, there was still that like tribalism here. As far as Canada, the Haida people, was there like a tribalistic like aspect to that? I
Well,
have to imagine.
I
What do you
will
mean,
say, I will say, in kind of like more as an opposition to Josh. You're
Mhm.
right, but like you also do have to realize that like, and I'm not certain for like other countries, and I could be like, this could be the case for other countries. Even though like we got rid of slavery and stuff like that, we were still doing like a lot of shit. Like I would, if you look at it from a certain position, like nobody's slavery, like in terms of like debt peonage and stuff like that, never really ended up until like World War II.
well, it hasn't ended today in no country in the world, but there is no law that says that you can't be a slave. There's just laws that say you can't be born a slave. Even the 13th Amendment doesn't say you can't be a slave. It says you can't be born a slave. It means
Well,
you have
specifically it
to.
says anybody born on American soil is.
No, it doesn't.
Does it not?
Was
This
it
is what this,
you? Was it you I was talking to about sundown laws the other day?
Yeah, you were
Or was
talking
that
with me
only,
about that.
was that only Cayden?
okay, no, I don't. I know what some of those are, but
Well, so like
okay. Here's what it says: the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution abolished slavery and voluntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime. Well, that's how it started.
So more so like not only that, but like what would happen is you'd have these people wander into town, and they would like black people. They would arrest them on like some bullshit charge, which what
Yeah.
sundown laws like. That's why there's so many crazy laws. Like whenever you hear like the world's wackiest law, the U.S.'s
Yeah.
wackiest laws. That's
I
why.
don't know. I don't know. California has one that says it's illegal to have sex with Satan without a condom. I don't know what was going on there, but
Well, it all started going when the devil went down to Georgia. Kidding.
you went down on Georgia.
But essentially, like laws preventing them from like loitering around train
Yeah.
tracks, stuff like that.
I'm aware of that, but like that's what it said. The 13th Amendment does not protect against slavery. It protects against slavery without duly convicted.
Well, let me
Which one was
finish.
the?
Let me
Good.
finish real quick. So essentially, what would happen is they would take these people and charge them, and like literally because of like how courts used to work back then. Most often, like every town had their own judge essentially. That was kind of like in with the town. So like they take these outsiders and they would be like they would get a bailer and the bailer would basically be like, "Hey, I'll bail you out of jail, but you have to sign this contract and work under me." It would basically that contract would basically turn them into slaves because it was either they go to jail, go into the prison system, or like be under this guy, and they would literally trade these contracts between other people. So these people would literally go around like working in coal mines and shit like that and just dying because of it. Like there used to there's this statistic I saw that like represented like deaths in terms of like mines and like literally most of the deaths in mines back then were people under these bonds literally mining coal and dying like people didn't care about it because they just buy more from the bailers.
Your audio is really drowning out there, man.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I can't hardly hear anything you say. But I can understand the gist behind it, and I understand that they were shitty laws. You know what I'm saying? And they were used to fucking.
Not only that, but they would literally like once these bailers got the people because like it's. Did you hear my point on the bailers?
No, you broke up on all through all that.
So these bailers would come out and be like, "All right, I will pay this fine so you don't go to jail if you sign this contract of work under me." And they would sign the contract, and the contract would basically put them into slave life.
I think it would be more indentured servitude. Whenever it's civil, it's indentured servitude. Whenever it's criminal, it's slavery. But I get the point. There isn't. Do what?
Like even if it's indentured servitude, they're still put into slavery. Like
do what?
Right. It sounds like you're talking through an aquarium right now.
I don't know how to say it, frankly.
Maybe step out of the aquarium. That's I got no clue.
What I was saying, like they would, especially like after the Civil War, and
Maybe you just type it in public chat, right? I'm sorry, but like I can't make out a word of that.
I don't know how I hear myself through your audio when I start recording.
I had my mic muted. I think it might be feedback from Josh's end.
Feedback from my end.
Yeah, because your screen, your like thing around your picture stays blue. All right, Ryan, try now.
All right, hello.
That sounds better. I think it was like your own audio was echoing over your like statements, but okay, you're clear now. Go ahead.
Okay. So they would basically put them under slave-like conditions. Like, for example, because like a lot of black people weren't literate for a long time, their masters would give them contracts and have them sign these contracts and promise that like it'd be an actual job they were going into, and then would literally like put them into cages. And so would like the miners too. Like the bailers would actually like once they had this person under contract, they would give that contract to somebody else so they could serve the rest of their time under that person. So like you had like a lot of black people working in coal mines because of these trumped up contracts essentially.
Yeah, that's right. That we did talk about.
Did
that
they
briefly.
did they get money for it though?
No, because any money that like they would be working off was towards their bail essentially. Not only that, but
Hmm?
they would add up a lot of like living expenses on top of that.
So essentially, like they were getting paid, but like not in a way that really was like beneficial to them. Like it was just to pay
They've
off.
been getting paid, but like yeah, essentially.
I have a question. Do you have like something because none of I mean it says about the sundown towns and stuff like that, but it doesn't say anything about the contracts. Do you have anything that says something about the contracts?
Let me get it real quick.
That'll work.
Okay, which I'm gonna have to head off and start getting ready for bed. So I'll let them do this like extra, and then I gotta hop off, grab my
Stop
food.
stop
eat.
making excuses, okay?
It's not 11's usually our cutoff point, is it not? Like I just need to make sure I have rest for tomorrow and food. Is that unreasonable? My bad if so, but like we're at the 3 hour 11.
It's highly
minute mark.
unreasonable.
You're right. I should be up till like 4 a.m. chit chatting and talking about sundown laws. If it wasn't a work night, I could. Well, no, because then I'd have to make time for other people too.
That's interesting. I know that wasn't the biggest part of it, but one of the kind of things is specific examples of exclusion was Native Americans, Asians, Latinos, Jews, and Catholics.
Exclusion from the sundown laws?
Yeah, in certain states.
Huh.
So they didn't allow Catholics and like
that is strange.
and they had Chinese sundown laws in Enoch, California. So
Chinese sundown laws? Like Chinese were exempt from.
no. Chinese were the only people that had the sundown in California.
Oh, that's very strangely specific.
Yeah, well, like they have a lot of population there.
Why are you wanting like so much attention all of a sudden? Holy shit. All right.
Did you find it?
I'm trying to get the exact name for it. Give me one sec.
Okay.
That's fine. These were kind of interesting because different areas had different criteria for their sundown laws.
During the colonial history of the United States, persons bonded themselves to an owner who paid their path. Oh wait, this is something else. Image.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got some pictures to accompany it. This looks like some kind of train station, but it's got a sign that says Europeans only.
In some cases, employers advance workers some pay or initial transportation costs. And workers willingly agreed to work without pay in order to pay it off. Sometimes those debts were quickly paid off and a fair wage-employer relationship established. In many more cases, however, workers became indebted to planters through sharecropping loans, merchants through credit, or company stores through living expenses. Workers were often unable to repay the debt and found themselves in a continuous work without pay cycle. But the most corrupt and abusive peonage occurred in concert with Southern state and county government. In the South, many black men were picked up for minor crimes or trumped up charges, and when faced with staggering fines and court fees, forced to work for a local employer who would pay their fines for them. Southern states also leased their convicts and master local industrialists. The paperwork and debt record of individual prisoners was often lost, and these men found themselves trapped in inescapable situations. Okay, so I think I got it mixed up. I think the thing I was talking about was the convict leasing occurring between basically how they whenever they were arrested, they would lease their arrest off to another company, such as a coal miner or something, and have them work it, and then like basically lose their paperwork.
Well, that's more corruption than legalization, but it still it leaves an avenue for legalization to be corrupt. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Some of these sundown towns stuff was they weren't just exclusive to specific groups. Certain places like Gardenville, Nevada, if you were a Jew or a Catholic, you couldn't be within their town limits during between.
Yeah, so it's past race. It's also like religious prosecution.
Well, no, because some were, but it was like in California, it wasn't black people, but it was Chinese people. Basically, they were targeting whatever people they could to exclude them.
I understand that, but like it was, I would also argue disproportionate.
Yes, it's disproportionate, obviously, but the point was that additionally, Jews and Catholics were unwelcome. This is all reading from the Sundown Town page from Wikipedia, so take it for what it's worth. Additionally, Jews and Catholics were unwelcome in certain communities, with some towns explicitly prohibiting them from owning property or joining local clubs. Black Americans were also impacted through widespread and often well-documented exclusionary policies. These discriminatory policies and actions distinguish. Can you even understand? There we go.
It's putting feedback through Ryan's.
All right, is that? Can y'all hear that? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, it's you guys that are fucking. It's Cayden that's fucking up. We decided
it's not.
Cayden.
It's not because I left my mic unmuted when you talked. I left my mic unmuted when Ryan talked, and in both cases there was no feedback. It's something between you and Ryan for whatever reason.
Continue though, Josh.
Oh yeah, but so yeah, it seemed to go from town to town and places like that. Yes, obviously disproportionately affected black people, and then next it disproportionately affected Chinese people, and then other areas it affected Jews and Catholics. But I don't think they were. While it was abused against black people, I don't think the laws themselves were exclusionary, except for where they were exclusionary. Like if you went from town to town, location to location, there were towns where Catholics, Jews, lots of what we consider white population would be excluded as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Jews
so
they had in
both like racial
California
and
or
religious.
Nevada, but yeah,
it seems like nothing outside of like race and religion were sources.
Well, that's pretty much the world. Race and religion.
Yeah, that's true. Like, there's not really much else that like people use to like distinguish people on such a broad scale, I guess.
Damn. Oregon
or political alignment, I guess, would be another thing.
About this.
But past that,
but yeah, it's definitely crazy and complicated, but it's also it just seems like
Mexicans too, because I don't think you mentioned that. Colorado, no Mexicans after night.
Yeah. Like I said, literally from location to location, it depended. Like in people were excluded to the Chinatown section of the city, and they could only be in the Chinatown section of the city in Enoch. They were also excluded from most of San Francisco, leading to establishment of Chinatown, things like that. And they're the best ones now. Asians make up more of the wealth of America than anybody.
That is true, and I always found that very surprising because
they are the single richest. Yeah, they are the single richest population. That 5%, they really know what to do with their stuff. We're retards, so
also
apparently
side or outside. Probably coming in and building wealth from moderation as well.
That's true. Maybe they were wealthier there. They transferred over here, and then that elevated that stat.
Yeah,
I can see that. I'm gonna have to leave it there though. I am really hungry. I need to go eat.
Fine. No.
I'm sorry. I gave you an extra 24 minutes. I'm starving, man. I'm starving. I'm a little tired.
No, it's fine. It's 11:30. We're gonna go ahead and hop off here anyway. I enjoyed the conversation. See, that's the thing. It was
It was good.
actually intellectual. It wasn't, nobody's sitting there saying, oh, except for you, nobody said we should bring back slavery.
I did say that. Let's not take it out of context, though. I was very clearly joking.
Stop supporting slavery, man.
Okay. But seriously, I'm gonna go and go. You guys have a good night. Ryan, we got to figure out something.
We will know when you drop off here. If it's clean and clear between me and him, we will know it was you.
Okay, let's test it.
Hello? Yep.
Like, do I sound fine?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I just wanted the conversation to. I want I want actual answers. See, Cayden's back in here again. There we go, bucking it up.
I was testing it. No, did it?
Yes, we were fine.
Oh,
We were fine until you came back in.
Next time I'll just get on my computer. That way it doesn't do it.
It was. That's weird. Okay, my bad. I was really convinced. Okay, I'll let you guys discuss without the interference.
No, that's fine. I'm about to
The
stop.
connection